On the blackest nights we sail through fog. Two voices echo from the salty bog. With tales of movies and actors bold. Host Josh and Jillian, their stories unfold. Hold fast the wheel, listen to the jive. The Blank Podcast where legends vibe. From silver screens to haunted dreams. In Josh and Jillian's twisted schemes. Brought to you by Anchor Bay Entertainment. Now here's your hosts, Josh and Jillian. Yeah.
He's
Are
hilarious.
you ready? You're on your phone.
I know. Well, because my phone is where my notes are. Yeah, I'm ready.
Hey,
ready?
welcome back to the Plank, everyone. We're in a new space.
Yeah, check it out. What do you guys think?
We got money.
We got
We
money.
didn't.
We got fuck you money.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Just email us and let us know what you think,
Yeah. How's your week?
or text us.
We haven't talked since.
I haven't talked
since
to you
Catherine.
since when?
Catherine.
Oh yeah, Catherine. That was our last episode.
Yeah.
How was my month?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Or I mean, last time I saw you was Sour Party, the Sour Party screening.
Yeah. Which was great.
Gardena.
So fun.
Yeah, Gardena Cinema.
Jesus
Gardens.
Christ.
I'm thinking Garden City.
You had a
I'm
stroke
thinking
there.
Detroit.
And we saw our friend of the pod, Augie Duke.
We did.
Super pregnant in that film.
So pregnant. And we have a friend of hers that we'll be introducing a little bit later.
We do. We talked about him a lot.
Yeah, it was
in that
pretty much his
episode.
show.
Yeah, it was pretty much Shane's first episode was with Augie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like Shane part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what to talk to him about.
Yeah, who knows? We'll
'Cause we-
see.
we
Sound like
blew-
we did a movie together.
we
All
blew-
three of us.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. What do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about your trip, or do you want to talk about the Oscars?
I don't know. I really want to.
We should talk about the Oscars
Yeah, we
because your
should talk
trip
about the Oscars.
segues into our
Our
guest.
guest.
All
Right.
All right.
What did you think of who won?
Okay. Of who won Best Picture?
Yeah. Well,
Okay. So, Anora,
uh-huh.
you know, when I watched that movie, I wasn't like I'm watching the Best Picture winner of the Oscars.
Yeah.
And I mean, admittedly, I didn't see all the movies. I did see half of The Brutalist. Honestly,
Would you do leave it intermission?
I did. I did.
Why?
I mean, because it was late. It was like 11 p.m.
Because I was CPs.
Yeah, I mean, when you go see The Brutalist at like 9, you're there. I mean, you're just like, you're there for 5 hours. You have trailers. You have the intermission, I think, is 20, 30 minutes. Which just that's like when you get a break. It's like, hey, do you want a break at work or do you want to leave early?
Yeah.
It's like I'll leave early. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't want a break.
Did you see Hateful Eight in theaters?
Oh hell yeah! What's 7?
Did
Yeah,
you leave at that intermission?
fuck no. Come on.
You said, fuck The Brutalist.
Okay,
I was bored.
And honestly, let's be honest. The Hateful Eight I was more engaged. Hateful Eight, I think at the halfway point, you're in Hateful Eight is that when Channing Tatum's that crew comes in?
Surprise guest.
Yeah, so that leaves you on a good cliffhanger. I don't think The Brutalist left you on a cliffhanger. I think they were like, you're gonna build this for the next half of the movie. I'm like,
You're
right.
like, I get it.
all right, he's gonna build
Go.
this huge like building.
It won best cinematography. Do you agree with that?
I did. I voted. I had a little Oscar ballot contest, and I did vote on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Who'd you vote for best actor?
I went with Timothy Chalamet because
Interesting.
because I hadn't seen a complete unknown. But because
Did
I
you see
went
Conclave?
Yes. Oh, is that who you voted for?
Yeah,
Ray
I
Fiennes?
wanted Ray Fiennes.
Uh,
I thought it was so good.
he
And I
was
was
good.
like, Adrian Brody just won like the
Well,
Golden Globe. He won the SAG Award. No,
I know.
Timothy won the SAG Award. He won the BAFTA and the Brit and all that jazz. And I was just like, he got his awards for the movie. Let's give Ray Fiennes a bone because Ray Fiennes crushed it in Conclave. I loved that movie.
Do you know what I meant when I said because I didn't see Complete Unknown?
That you didn't see.
That's why I voted for Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, because you just thought
Because
he
I
was
hadn't
gonna
seen
win?
it. Yeah, but then I did see it, and I was like, damn.
You were like,
I should've
wasted vote.
Well, because Adrian Brody, the whole AI thing, and
yeah,
and also, but there was a little. I'm like, oh, he would be the next youngest actor to win because Adrian Brody was 29 when he won for The Pianist, and Timothée Chalamet's 29, so it was just kind of like one of those things.
Yeah.
So going back to Anora,
Yeah.
I think it was okay. So it won the Palme d'Or. So this is interesting too because there's only 4 movies that have won the Palme d'Or and then Best Picture.
Which are?
The Lost Weekend.
Gun to your head.
The Lost Weekend. Charlie? Wait, not Charlie. Marty? Not the one. What's not the one with not Flowers for Algernon. The other one with I think it's Marty.
Charlie's the name of the movie?
Charlie was the one that was. It's Marty. It's Marty, right? See, we
have an audience.
We have an audience. They're just there. It's like a cheat sheet. So yeah, Marty.
Fact checkers.
Marty, Parasite, and Anora.
Huh. Parasite's so good.
Parasite is so good. But, fun fact.
Yeah, Anora, my thing with Anora, I'm so happy that it won because that's an indie movie. That's a $6 million movie that won Best Picture, and that's amazing for the industry, and I'm super happy that set a precedent. The story itself?
Well, all we got to do is go back and look at like 3 episodes earlier when you talked about Anora.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's so true. I was literally like, why are we running after a 21-year-old rich kid the whole movie? That's so boring and lame when you could be talking about strippers and what an exciting, dangerous life they live.
And it doesn't really kick off. Like the plot doesn't kick off 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting. So yeah, I mean, but yes, exactly. Sean Baker, to see Sean Baker up there with Tarantino talking about keeping cinema, getting indie films in theaters to keep cinemas open, it was like, I got goosebumps.
And the fact that he edited it is super fucking cool.
And he edits like in his bedroom.
Yeah.
I read this interview. He edits in his bedroom. He's fucking hardcore. He's like, I'm not having kids. I'm not doing this. I'm just like, I'm focused.
Married
I'm like,
to the game.
He's married to it. And he's like, his editing bay is like 5 feet from his bed in his bedroom. So he just like, he'll just edit all night.
That saves so much money.
Well, yeah.
Most people. The first thing my brain went to.
Most people's editing bay, of course he can afford to not do that, but I'm sure his home is nice.
Who was the director of Joker 2?
Todd Phillips.
I think I was listening to this voice note that he sent Todd, and he was like talking about how they wrapped around the same time, and he had like just started editing Anora like the year, like literally almost like to the month the year before it won Cannes.
Okay.
And he's like talking to him, and he's like, yeah, you know me, like I just can't edit before. And then I'm like, and I was like, oh my God, he's a procrastinator. I love that. I love that the director who won the Oscars he's such a procrastinator.
But he said if you guys would remember, he did say if you guys saw the footage of this movie was a disaster.
That's so
he's kind of giving himself
funny.
credit for. He's like, I saved this movie. That director fucking shot like so much footage and had no idea what was going on. So I saved this movie from himself.
That's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of humble, but also not.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating because it's like, be organized, have your shit together, start editing earlier. But also, I don't know, he won the Oscars, so what do we fucking know?
What do we know?
Yeah.
Now, do you feel bad for talking shit?
No.
No. You stick to it. What do you think should have won Best Picture?
I didn't see Nickel Boys, and I didn't see I'm Still Here.
I did vote for Conclave for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yeah, I'm happy that won. I didn't think it would win Best Picture, but I did want Ray Fiennes to win.
I know.
And oh my God, I wanted Jeremy Strong to win.
Ooh, yeah. So did Kieran Culkin.
Dude, Kieran literally, he talks about it on his interviews. He's like, yeah, I would show up on set and I didn't know what scene we were shooting, and then I would learn it that day, and then I would just go in. And I was like, yeah, because Kieran was playing himself. And then he wins for literally playing. Did you see A Real Pain?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're playing yourself, dude. Like, this is like arguably one of the most relatable, easiest roles for you to do. And Jeremy Strong becomes Roy Cohn, arguably the most evil human to walk.
And nails it.
Kills it. Is so good. Makes him empathetic. Like, you feel bad for Roy. And like you can see the love that he has for Trump in it. And I was just like, damn, Jeremy Strong literally made Roy Cohn like a real person. And he didn't win the fucking Oscar.
Well, that's
because his little fucking brother in Succession won it. That's so annoying.
Even Robert Downey Jr. was like, Jeremy Strong.
Jeremy Strong should have won.
What did he say? He prefaced it by, he used to like sleep outside my building or something.
Dude, Jeremy Strong gets literally bullied for like taking his craft seriously. Wow. Everyone's like, fuck you. You're like, why are you, what is it? Like, he's like, why are you method acting? And it's like, you're not going up to Leonardo DiCaprio being like, fuck you, why are you method acting? Not that I like method acting. I think it's stupid.
You don't like method acting?
No, I think it's stupid. I think you should just do your job and you should act and you shouldn't make everyone around you cater to you to do your job for you.
Well, that's what, what's his name did in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? The dude in the wheelchair?
Oh, that's annoying.
Huh?
That's annoying.
Well, and you saw that movie, that character is super
annoying. I would have been like, can you just ask me what I had for breakfast?
Not Francis, that's Pee-wee's Big Adventure. What's his name? Franklin.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I feel like everybody's so serious in this new
I'm not serious.
This new
I just
set.
feel like I'm look frumpy. I feel like I look like a toad.
Don't look at that.
Well, okay.
I'm trying not to, but it's easier for me.
Ask me about my trip.
Ask me about your okay. How was your trip?
My trip was so good. I went to the biggest magic convention in the world. And I want to talk about it, but I also want to introduce our guest.
Because you're going to because once you start talking about this,
he's going to want to jump in.
I can just go to the bathroom. Cuz this is going to be like a magic moment. It's going to be a magic moment.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We have Shane Brady on the podcast
Shane
today,
Brady.
everyone.
What's up, guys?
Friend of the pod, personal friend of ours.
Friend of ours. I haven't seen him in so long.
I have to just let everybody know I'm Huckleberry Finning it because it was
for
raining.
Free?
I know, right?
Him for free?
Show my feet for free.
That's
it's
crazy.
Raining like crazy, and I had to jump into a puddle in order to get through.
Gross.
So
had to?
I had to. I had no other choice.
Okay.
I could have handstanded it, but then I would have ruined the desserts that I only brought. Yeah.
Ooh,
You brought him French pastries.
Yeah. Did you get some?
Yeah.
I was waiting till after.
I ate part of an eclair and I ate
What
a
a gentleman.
macaron and I'm going to eat the rest.
Oof, if there's any left.
I know, true.
Okay, so you went to the biggest
Yes.
magic convention ever.
Yes. And I bring it up because Shane is a magician.
Yeah,
you guys.
for context, I've been a magician since I got my finger cut off when I was 8 years old. And part of my physical therapy was picking up cards. That was like one of the last steps. And Jillian's father is a magician. And I was looking at your Instagram when you were getting blitzed with your father on the airplane.
Oh, yeah.
And I like followed your journey
Oh, wow.
the whole way through to like the photos of like the 10 million tables and just like cards shuffling and everything. So I'm incredibly eager to hear
I'll show
about
you more.
what it
You
was like.
have to go.
I know I have to.
It's so wholesome because you're with like 5,000 magician
Just like mega nerds.
Nerds.
Just like so passionate about
just
cards.
like so happy to be there, so happy to show everyone that like all of their tricks. And like you would see this French guy like be introduced to this Spanish guy and be like, oh my God, I've heard about you. And then the Spanish guy would be like, well, show me something. And then he'd be like, get all nervous and be like, actually, no, I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to do, what? No, I don't have that deck. Okay. Look up a celebrity on your phone. And it was just like, wow, this is so fun.
A nervous magician?
Yeah. Oh, all of them.
Yeah.
All
That's
of
so
them.
funny.
Most of them.
Nobody thinks that.
Okay.
We think you guys are also confident.
Here's the deal. I would argue if you were to apply a percentile to it, I would say 90% of magicians have no idea how to have a conversation with a human being.
Yeah.
Because if you really think about magicians performing, it's a very set and regimented, like I do this and then I do this and then I say this joke and I go here. And a lot of
life
them,
is not like that.
Life is not like that. And a lot of them who do stage will practice in a dark room to a song. So it's like a tempo. It's like them learning a routine. And if they ever have to deviate from that or try to improvise or be free flowing, it all comes crumbling down.
Yeah.
Like
Holy shit.
Shin Lim, who is one of the best magicians I have ever seen. I found it interesting that when he did America's Got Talent, he did his like 4-minute routine that won the Magic Olympics and everybody's jaws on the ground. How did you do this? Well, of course, we're going to bring you to Hollywood. We'll see you next week. And his next trick, you could see it. He's like, I think I just had to like make this up because I've been doing that trick for this is also I think this is the case. I could be totally wrong. Maybe he just got nervous in front of a live audience, but in my estimation, he knew exactly how to do that first trick because he had been doing it for 10 years. And this next one was like, uh-oh, I'm on live TV now and I have to figure out 9 more tricks to try to win this thing.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Someone told me that they knew a girl who dated Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah.
He's like super enlightened German or
Yeah.
super enlightened human being. But she said her friend dated him and he doesn't know how to do anything, like cook or like close like cabinets and stuff.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
she said her friend was like cooking breakfast for them and he just like would stand in her kitchen like at peace, I guess, and enlightened, but also like super awkward and antisocial.
Yeah. It was a mix of people not knowing how to talk to me and like being very scared too. And then a mix of people like everyone and their father asking me to pick a card.
Yes.
Like every 5 minutes.
Is that like a pickup line there?
It's more like, hey, can I show you something? Hey, can I show you a trick?
Yeah.
But
And you'd be like, yeah.
Do magicians, if they're flirting, do you think they have to incorporate like magic into their like pickup?
Oh, you see the panic. You see them go, how much do I got on me? How many tricks do I have on my person right
Yes.
now?
This is so fucking interesting to me.
I don't know if I've told you this story. In a way, magic taught me how to flirt.
Okay.
And what I mean by this is I was 18 and I was at Florida State University and I had a high school sweetheart all through high school, 4 years. Her name was Shannon. And she broke up with me at the start of college and I'm like doing push-ups, My Chemical Romance, woe is me, like, what has happened? And like 3 weeks into that, I'm at some Florida State keg party and there's, you know, a whole deck of cards and people are playing Circle of Death. And one of my friends says, oh, Shane's pretty good at magic. And so I'm fairly drunk and the game ends and I just start doing card tricks. And the unattainable, cute, hot girl at the party goes, oh my God, I love magic, and sits down. And so my brain is going, well, I'm drunk, I'm heartbroken, this girl is way too wildly attractive for me to even pursue her, so I'm just going to do the magic tricks. There was not, and I like to phrase it as like in the marrow of my bones. I wasn't trying to trick her.
You and your bone marrow.
My bone marrow, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't, that's another one.
That's so funny.
I wasn't trying to gaslight.
Inside joke,
I
inside
genuinely was like, oh, and I did like 5 tricks for her. And I'm like, cool, that's it. And I go to leave and she like corners me in the kitchen and we start chatting. And then an hour later, we're kissing in the backyard. And I remember stopping her and like holding her shoulders and going, wait, this doesn't make any sense. You have to explain to me why you are kissing me right now.
Yeah.
Like, and I think I phrased it like that. Like I try to remember my drunk brain. And she said, you know, my whole life, once I reached like maturity where guys would hit on you, the only way guys have hit on me is you're so hot, you have such a nice this, such a great ass, you're so sexy, right? And she goes, you held my hand and made eye contact with me, and you're just clearly so passionate about cards, and that was it. That's all you did. And there's something really attractive about that.
When you held her hand and made eye contact, were you still in the trick?
I was just like, here's a card, here's this, and that's all I was doing. And then the punchline to all of this is I was so drunk, I was like, okay, well now I have to try to shift into let's keep this conversation going.
Right.
And so
And you fucked it up.
well, since it's Tallahassee in Florida State, I went into the woods, vomited, thinking I would do the good old classic 18-year-old puke and rally. And then when I came back, can't find her. And so I'm going around the party going, does anyone know where generic hot brunette girl is who I don't know the name? And they're like, we don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So she was never to be seen again. So I like to think there was some like hologram angel sent from like my grandfather who had died recently and was like, I'm gonna try to pick up Shane's spirits.
Throw
Wait a
you a
minute.
bone.
Throw me a little bone. Another bone pun.
Yeah.
I was
Cheers.
not ready
Point
for
for
that.
Jill.
I
Point
was
for Jill.
not ready for that twist. Maybe she pulled the magic fucking
She
disappearing.
pulled the Houdini act on
fucking
me.
Houdini act, yeah.
And then, yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. A lot of them were like, oh, most of us grew up without friends.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. Like there was this one French student and I was like, how. That was the cool thing about being at a magic convention. People do a trick and you go, how do you do that?
Yeah.
And they go, oh, I do it like this.
Yeah, and they
you're
go
like,
into
oh,
it.
this is so fun.
Yeah.
Because like.
So they show you the...
Yeah, it's a bunch of magicians. It's magicians on magicians. It's not like.
I think
You
the
can't
whole thing
get
of
in
the
if you're not a magician? Can you sneak in, fake your way in?
You can't sneak in. Like you
No,
have to
but I mean
have the
fake your way in.
badge. Yeah, I mean, if you're buying a ticket and you're making your way all the way out to Blackpool, England, which is not easy to get to, by the way, you have to fly to Manchester and then take an hour and 20-minute train. They
That
just
sounds
assume
awesome.
that you're a magician.
Yeah.
And so they ask you like, oh, are you a professional? Are you a hobbyist? Are you an enthusiast? And so like there are different levels. It's not like everyone's at there is like making money doing magic, although a lot of them are.
Can it be like, I can't show you this trick because you're a hobbyist?
No,
No,
you're there. You're at the
okay,
convention.
all right.
You know what else, dude? Any trick that you want to know, just you could type it into YouTube.
Yeah, they're all there.
And every like the amount of research, it's.
I know.
But I think people are too lazy to even. Like you could learn how to do it. The metaphor, because people ask me this often. The metaphor I like to think of is, remember when Odell Beckham Jr. caught the football with one hand and it was miraculous? Like, how did you catch this touchdown and land? Or like some hockey player will dangle around 5 guys and score. You look at it and go, well, that's clearly 20 years of dedicating yourself to one skill set.
Yeah.
That's how you did it.
Yeah.
And with magic, you do a trick that blows people's minds and they go, how do you do it? Okay, well, it's a biddle grip, and then I have to do this
Yeah, or it's a gimmick. Like,
yeah, or it's a gimmick deck or something. And it's like, to me, that doesn't ruin what you did. It would be like me talking to Odell and being like, how did you catch that football? He's like, I play football all the time.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
Wow.
that just happened.
Yeah.
You know?
But a lot of times people were like, oh, are you going to make tricks now? And I'm like, oh, no. I am not an
that's
engineer.
hard.
Like,
Ooh, that's what it is, an engineer?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're some of the smartest people I ever met were at that magic convention because they would be like, yeah, I learned this trick. And then I thought like, wow, this would be really cool to do it this certain way. And then what if this like disappeared? And then I figured out how to do that. And I was like, wow, my brain
that was breathing
doesn't
happy.
work like
that was a lot of
breathing happy. Oh, you guys
Got you, buddy.
You guys do it at the same time, synchronized.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yes, breathing happy. You were a magician.
Yeah.
And you were an ex-hockey player in that.
And I was an ex-hockey
Yeah,
player.
Which you are.
Which I am.
And you were an addict, which
In
you
the
are.
movie, I was an addict.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
I gotta let this go. When
Okay.
you said the reason you got into magic because you cut off your finger, I thought there was gonna be like one of these jokes.
Oh, yeah. Like,
I
the
cut
ding-
out-
Doesn't
thing.
do it at
Yeah.
all.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
trying. I'm trying to.
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah,
really-
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
you're
How'd
because
you
you
do
can see
that?
behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So you see
That's
how
how,
I did this.
dude. That's when Shane knew that I was a magician's daughter. He immediately pulled out his phone and was like, "Oh, well, like let me show you this." I'm like, "I don't think you probably won't be able to see what it is." And
Yeah.
1 minute into the video, I'm like, "There it is."
Yeah.
That's and he was just like,
He's
because I was
so
practicing
you
my
are
deck
a magician's
switch.
daughter.
Yeah, I was practicing
Yeah.
my deck switch, and I knew I wasn't that good at it yet. So I was like, okay, you're a good person to look at, like, because you want the eye to follow the misdirection, not where the pass is happening.
Yeah.
And so the fact that she could tell, I'm like, all right, I still have to work on it, or I have to position the camera in a different spot,
Yeah.
or something.
It is funny because now I'm working on magic and I kind of want to audition for the castle, but that's for a later day. But it's funny, my dad and I will be working on tricks and we'll both at the same time be like, yeah, but this isn't a trick I could do drunk because I'm definitely gonna fuck that up. And we'll think about that. Like as we're
Yes.
learning a trick, we're like, this is really cool. I can't do this drunk. Like sponge balls.
Sponge are tough. Like
My
it's-
hands
yeah.
are so small.
Yeah.
If I'm like a little loosey goosey, like you're seeing the ball.
I can help you get better at magic while being drunk in 1 minute, and it's something we all can do.
Love it.
Okay.
Well, I
so-
can't do magic.
No, but
I
here,
can get
hold-
drunk.
Put your hands like this. Okay. So we have like 2-letter L's. Okay. Now point them at somebody like they're little guns. Okay. Right. Everyone can do it. Now, on your left hand, put your index finger away. So you just have the thumb up. On your right hand, put your thumb away. Okay. 3, 2, 1, switch.
Mm,
Switch. So the theory behind this is you have to train your brain to do one thing with this hand, but keep eye contact over here. So, and then the other part of this is
Kinda
what is
like-
difficult becomes easy, exactly like that. What is easy becomes reflex, and then the level above reflex is magic. So the whole thing is they go start like this, put them away, and then if you can just have a conversation with somebody and just keep doing this, because you kind of forget that you're doing it. It's the equivalent of having cards and doing a shuffle where you know the shuffle that you're doing.
Yeah.
But you have to like either do jail time or just practice shuffling cards all the time.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shane's the reason why I even started going to the Magic Castle was because he
Not
sent me
your
a guest
dad?
pad. No, dude, my dad still isn't a member yet. He has to audition. He's
I thought your
auditioning.
dad was a member this whole time.
No, he's gonna audition, I think, before this summer. And then
Yeah.
I want to audition
Bombshell.
before the end of the year.
Well, you
That's
got,
our
send me the
goal.
videos of what you guys are working on,
I
and then
will.
I'll judge you the same way you fucking judged me.
Okay. Great.
We'll
Love
do a tit
it.
for tat. Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Great.
Yeah, no. So now we're there like every month though, because he's always at the Magic Apple and like has a bunch of friends
What's
now.
the Magic
so-
Apple?
Magic Apple
It's
is
the store.
Mhm.
Here. It's like the only magic store here in Hollywood that sells stuff. It's like for kids growing up in the 80s and 90s or whatever, you had Blockbuster or a record store or something where you would go and talk movies or music.
Mhm.
It's because you can go to a magic store and I'm curious about this, curious about that, and they have the green felt tables, and the
Yeah.
people that work there love to.
and they'll do lectures there and stuff.
Yeah.
But that was the convention the lectures would start at 9 and then you could choose from like 3 different if you wanted to like see a mentalist or like parlor tricks or whatever.
I hate mentalism.
And then I just can't
It's
do it.
stupid. I'm sorry. Hot take for this movie podcast.
Yeah.
Mentalism.
Hey, we
is
will talk about
stupid.
movies
Yeah,
soon.
yeah. We'll talk about movies at some point.
I
Hey,
hear
movies
your
and magic.
opinion
Yeah.
and I respect it, but at the
I
same
don't
time,
respect
like
it.
I know some mentalists where I know that they've just been training since they were like 20 years old and now they're in like 50s and they're like just so I don't
Mental.
even know. Like, do you know Nader?
No.
Okay, never mind. Anyway, let's talk about Breathing Happy.
Sure.
Let's talk about
being
your
happy.
movie.
Yeah.
Which we
It's
did
a
talk about.
lot.
Did you listen to Augie?
I did listen to
Okay,
Augie's when I
okay,
was
okay.
driving, and then
Okay.
ironically, like cosmically, the absolute second the podcast ended, Augie's episode, she called Emily and I because my wife and I were driving in Tampa.
Oh my
and
God,
we're
that's
like,
so funny.
we just finished your episode.
We just listened to you talk for 2
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so funny.
It's kind of funny because we don't. And listening to that episode, I'm like, we don't really talk about movies. I mean, we talk. We just talk.
But
We
also,
talk
if you
about
have a
her.
conversation with Augie, it's like you better have 20 subjects in a steel trash can and just know that they're going to get tossed around for those 2 hours, and there might be something of substance in there.
I think
That's
we
great.
talk about
and that's
that
not
on
an
the
insult.
show.
That's just talking.
It was just like
that's
3
just
people with
Augie.
ADHD talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of chasing squirrels. It was
Yeah.
great. I loved it. I have ADHD, so I was like, "Yep, I'm
You're like, I
fully
am
on board
this
with
train.
everything."
I'm on this ride.
Yes,
You're a Florida boy.
I am a Florida boy.
When did you come out to LA?
Complex answer. I went to Florida State University from 18 to 22. I lived in London for 6 months during that, doing their little study abroad program, and then I lived
RADA,
in good
Lambda?
old Chicago. It was just through Florida State.
Oh, cool.
Like they have a whole division where London folk go to Tallahassee, and we go over there, and that's like the exchange. It was great. I saw a million plays.
Isn't it
Travel.
the best?
Oh, it's the. I think like by week 2 of me being in London, I was like, I'm going to stop everything I'm doing and just live here and try to perform in the West End, and
That's
I will live
how-
a very happy life.
That's how I felt too. And then
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they don't want American actors here.
No, they don't.
They don't like our accents.
Yeah,
they don't.
You should because we have a bunch of actors from
I
England
know.
over here,
I
know.
know.
and you find out every actor's from England when you see an interview. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
of course,
Wow.
of
Yeah.
course.
Of course, Christian Bale's
Of course.
British.
Another
course.
gentlemanly or ladylike person who shows up on time and knows their lines and
Yeah.
It doesn't have an
Shit's-
audition
doesn't
later
have-
that day. Hey,
Yeah,
can we
yeah, yeah.
wrap early? Because I have
Yeah.
an audition for a commercial.
yeah. So after college, I lived in Chicago for 2 years, and while I was
Did
in
you?
Chicago,
Did I know that?
yeah, we talked about it on
Commercial.
Turning Point and stuff. I loved like the oversimplification of my time in Chicago is I did 7 plays when I was there, and it was great. I loved it, but I could not get an agent or a manager or a theatrical
A
booking or
local
commercial.
agent like Stewart or
Nothing.
CA or not CA.
Nothing. Everyone hated me. Everyone hated me.
No.
Like hated. Like it's this. I'm not intending to go to
like the reviews. He sucked.
No,
Shane
I
Brady,
did
like-
no. Luckily,
Okay.
I did great in plays.
Okay.
And
Just people
and it was
on the street.
no like the only way that I can explain this story is I wanted to go to Chicago because I wanted to be on Saturday Night Live. So I said, okay, I'm going to do Second City. I'm going to do IO. I'm going to do the whole training program. I'm going to get on a team. I'm going to do stand up. Like if the roadmap is do all those things, I'm going to do it. And just like you're talking about with Sean Baker, no kids, no, that's what I'm going to do. And I will be on Saturday Night Live and I'll do the whole training ground. And since I was also in plays, but I would also be waking up at like 5 or 6 in the morning to go to the gym, to then go to work, to then I was like burning it on both ends. I was on a team after I graduated IO, and we're doing a show on a Friday night, and like the whole rest of my team is killing it, absolutely killing it. People are dying in stitches, laughing so hard. And if you know anything about a Herald, like it's 2-person scene, and then I come in with someone, and there was this running joke where like one character was shouting at another person, and now, okay, so that's the game, right? So I go in and I initiate shouting at the other person, and I sucked all the energy out of the room, like opposite.
And you feel it,
and
too.
I feel it, right? And I'm sitting there going, what did I do wrong? And again, this is a much longer story, but the show ends. I'm trying to figure out what I did wrong. And you have coaches that come watch your shows. And in front of everyone, the guy goes, Shane, I think I know why not only the audience doesn't laugh, but why you haven't found your footing in improv and why it's so difficult for you. You look like the person that bullied all of us growing up. You do. You look like the frat boy douchebag who stole our lunch money and beat us up and talked down to us. And so when the first person shouted, it was a female. When the second person shouted, it was a very skinny person. And when you shouted, it was threatening. And it wasn't okay. And
You got scary.
And
Drama.
I never did improv
Drama.
after that. I quit.
Oh,
I was
what?
supposed to do 6 more shows, and I was like, I'm done.
I feel like that's just a soft Midwestern audience if you came out to Groundlings.
Maybe.
Midwestern
but it's
audiences
also
not
like
soft. They're hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did it.
And so-
lot of shows
that's
at
why
Michigan.
That's why he believes it.
Yeah. Well, so
Yeah.
when that happened, my buddy, one of my best friends is a guy named Aaron Moorhead. We went to high school together, did a bunch of theater together, and I was talking to him about it. He goes, "Dude, come out to LA, just crash on my couch and figure things out." And I was like, "Great." So I
And
moved
that's
to
the
LA.
co-director of Spring. You guys did Spring,
Yep.
and then The Endless and
Synchronic, and now they did Moon Knight, Loki.
Oh yeah, Moon Knight
season 2.
Yeah,
Daredevil
they're
2
killing
just
it.
came out. They're doing
Fucking
Daredevil
Born
season 3.
Ag-
Yeah, they're
yeah.
killing it.
They're killing it.
Killing it.
It.
How old
Yeah.
were you when you came out here?
24, 25,
Nice.
25.
And were
Question
you
mark.
always an actor? Or you played hockey growing
Yeah.
up.
I wanted to
Doing the Mighty Ducks.
be a Mighty Duck. I wanted to be the center position in the flying V.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. No,
No, in the movie Mighty Ducks.
yeah. No,
Okay,
everything. Movie, Mighty Ducks, everything.
Or
Yeah.
on the Mighty Ducks.
Or on the Mighty
like,
Ducks.
Like Anaheim Mighty Ducks too.
No, I grew up a huge Tampa Bay Lightning fan, still am. And I wanted to pursue playing professional hockey,
You were
which
literally wearing a Tampa
Bay Lightning hat. And yeah, I broke my neck when I was 14. And so I missed my entire freshman year of high school. And
then you became addicted to
then
pills.
I became addicted to pills. And then, yeah, just like the movie.
Yeah.
No, I actually I just became addicted to guitar and shuffling cards. Like
Better
the only
story.
2 things I could do was play guitar and shuffle cards, because my nickname was the puking pterodactyl. Because when you have a broken neck, people don't realize it's like the old Michael Keaton Batman suit. You can't turn your neck or
No.
anything. You can only do this.
Why are you puking?
Because I had vertigo so bad that
Why were you a
Oh,
pterodactyl? Could
man.
fly?
because so the
He could fly.
thought, sometimes the thought of laying down to sitting up would be enough to make the whole world spin. And so I would have this neck brace, and so that year in high school I had my 5 buddies, and each of them had a day because my mom couldn't stay home from work the whole time.
Right.
So it was Chris, Dan, Jason, Drew, and Mike. And they each had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And they would come over, and they would not be in school that day. They would just be my caretaker. And the whole school, they knew about it, and it was the deal.
Damn.
And if I had to vomit, it was incredibly painful for me to be in any position other than this, because this like aligned my spine. So they would hold a garbage bag open, and I would just be like, "Bah!"
Oh
so,
my god! It was
so
like
my buddy Chris was like,
projectile,
"Oh yeah, you're like a puking pterodactyl."
Oh.
What
Yeah.
good friends.
Yeah,
Wait,
they're
and
great
your
friends.
nickname would have been would have been PP, because pterodactyl starts with
with a
P.
P.
Just so people don't know how to
Wow,
spell
I
it.
hope
everybody.
our
Josh
audience
Wagner.
can spell.
You never know.
You never know. You know.
Pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl.
PP. I would have called you PP.
So
Yeah.
how'd you get into acting?
There was I was 17, so just like bouncing around high school trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And there was simultaneously the talent show for our rinky-dink high school, and there was a play called Tales of Trickery, where there were just 2 speaking roles, if I remember correctly, male storyteller and female storyteller. And since I don't know how to shut up and I tell a bunch of stories, I auditioned for that. And there's all these like puppets and things behind me because it was intended for like the elementary school kids to come to the high school to watch these shows. And I fell so in love with like telling these stories and doing all these wild, crazy voices. And for the high school talent show, I played guitar and I did a whole Metallica medley on acoustic guitar. And a bunch of my friends were like, man, you must be so nervous. I would be so nervous to be on stage. And I was like, no, I actually feel more at home there than anywhere else. And I don't know why. I don't get, like, I've tried to think about it. I think of it like roller coasters. Like, people get nervous before roller coasters, but it's a good nerves. It's I get to go on this roller coaster. I assume that some people get nervous of like, I don't want to go on this thing. But I've never, auditions, yes, but bookings, or like if I'm doing a gig, never in my life have I been nervous.
Because you already got it when you're on the stage. You're like, I already got this. It's some like you've proven it to yourself or proven it to audition.
And there's a million books and stuff that's like you have to trick your brain. For an audition, just I already booked it.
Yeah. Do you think that people are born with that, or can you learn to not have stage fright?
There was a really good
Jerry Seinfeld said
Wait, what did Seinfeld
didn't he say public speaking is the number one people's number one fear, death is second?
I think so.
I think that was one of his stand-up acts.
Ironically, I think it was David Blaine that was on a podcast recently talking about stage fright, saying that like our cavewoman brains would not want to be open and exposed because that meant you're like the predators are going to get you, right? So being on stage activates that synapse or whatever you would call it in our brain of, everyone's looking at me. And so the only way to make that go away is to keep putting yourself in that position and learn and know like, oh, this isn't scary. It's not bad. It's actually fun to have people look at you.
Yeah.
So,
but then you get shot.
You get
assassinated, and you're like, see, I should have listened to my kid.
Right, by the what are those poachers? By the poachers. Yeah. But I don't know. I've always you get shot because you're the metaphor for lions. God damn it, John.
When I hear poachers, I'm like, hey, someone trying to steal one of my
tusks.
Yeah. No, I've never. I mean, do you guys get stage fright or?
Well, that's why I asked because I don't remember a day where I ever got stage fright, but I have friends who are like, oh, I'd rather slit my wrists and bleed out slowly than get on stage.
Is stage fright in what way? Like if you were to do a play, it's more than stage fright. You got to know your lines. So there's also performance anxiety.
Yeah, but
so it's like performance anxiety.
Yeah, but that's fine because I'm in control of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I get anxiety and I'll get nervous about like reviews or like, oh, am I going to get into a film festival? Because that's out of my control.
But stage fright, if people get like your friends, they get stage fright just in any situation. Like okay, when you're in school and it's your turn to read and you have to stand up in front of the class.
I've never felt that.
No, I did in school. I don't. But
that's why I asked. So that's why I'm like, do you think it's something that people are born with, or do you think that?
No, I think you learn to not be.
Interesting. Yeah.
Right.
No, I mean probably. I'm trying to think of the time when I learned to not be, and I just don't. I remember. So I think
usually a few drinks. It starts with a few drinks.
A few drinks in second grade, getting in choir.
You put a little vodka in the Gatorade bottle.
If you get over
how great is our God, Jill?
Yeah, if you get over it in second grade, I didn't get. But going back to what Shane said, like if it is like our going back to caveman days, it is like our primal like fear or primal like protection mechanism. Then we are born with it, and then because we don't live in those caveman days anymore where we live in a society where if you're not stage fright you're looked at as more powerful, then we adapted. But I think to answer your question, I think we probably are born with it in junior high or grammar school and junior high and then you might get over it, and then in high school, because I think what because your ego grow, like your id and all that stuff develops like at certain ages, like you might get over it at 10. Right. And then at 12, when there's like a whole new ball game, when you hit puberty, you're like, and then popularity becomes more of a thing. You're like, fuck, you got to get over it.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's like really outgoing kids who like had one person that they had a crush on in middle school go, shut up. And then they just, the rest of their lives.
Yeah. Then you think you're over it, and then there's the test.
Yeah.
Like what if that girl in my story earlier beat the shit out of me and called me a dipshit.
Loser, magician.
Magic is the dumbest thing ever. I would never do it anymore.
Never again. Be like, great, awesome.
Or it's the girl you have a crush on, or boy, that you like.
Or girl.
Or girl.
Or
boy.
Ding, ding. Point for Josh. Point for Josh. Politically correct.
That
KO.
is like, you get up there and you like prepare and everything, and then they're just like not paying attention, right? And you're like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
then there's that.
I
too.
have
They're
cemeteries
like, they start
littered with
talking to
the
their friends,
bones
you're
of
like,
people that don't give a shit about me or my like attempts at trying to woo them. So,
Yeah.
But yet here you are on a
And here I am.
fucking biggest podcast this side of Mississippi.
Fuck yeah, it is. Yeah.
So you are the writer, director, and lead.
And editor.
And editor. Where's his Oscar? Of Breathing Happy. It is quite the roller coaster. You blend surrealism and magic, literally.
And Aaron Moorhead, Justin Benson, your
yeah,
friends.
Aaron Moorhead's the golden door.
They're the
Benson
doors.
is the soothing
The
yoga
voices.
voice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if
And
you
this-
remember if you watch the podcast with Augie, you will hear when I compare it to Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
And Jillian's a little in disagreement with that comparison because it's one of her favorite movies.
I do
Yeah.
love Requiem for a Dream.
You were
Requiem-
kind of
Requiem's
quiet
an
like that
amazing
too when
movie,
you said it. You're like, well, it is like one of my favorite movies of all
Yeah.
time.
It's a great movie.
Yeah,
Well,
but
Amazing movie. Yeah.
okay, go ahead. But it is a great Christmas movie. Breathing Happy. By
Thank
the way.
you. Hey, it's Dylan. I just wanted to call and say Merry Christmas. I'm at 1 year sober today.
Did it! You made it a year, buddy!
Congratulations to you. No more drugs, no more booze.
I know you're high right now.
I miss you guys. Merry Christmas.
You have no new messages. To listen to your old messages from people that you have pushed away, please press 1.
Hey, don't do it, champ. Is that smart? Have you thought this through?
Should I not open you?
No, you definitely should. Not open me. I just need to, before you reach the handle, okay, yes, open me. This is going to be simple. You just got to listen to instructions and just stand there and sit down.
What?
Sit down!
Why can't you stop?
I never aspired to be, nor am I necessarily. The only thing I'm super proud about all of that is editing, because I had to teach myself that from like the
Yeah.
absolute like, what is Premiere Pro? Why is DaVinci Resolve something other people like? Like
Yeah.
that's how I started with editing.
Yeah.
Really? That was like your first
Dude.
the editing in
Also,
that is
because I know you, but like, and people compliment
It would
the
be
editing in it.
hard.
Yeah, but it's like, it's just because I sat there forever. I just sat there forever and just toiled and toiled. And I know you edit. And
That's
like,
the mind of a magician, though,
Yeah,
too.
it is.
It's just
It
like, I
is.
have no idea how
Right?
this works. I'm just going
Right?
to study it until I've mastered it. And there's a lot of
Yes.
people whose brains don't work like that. And
Yeah.
I think that's what I really admire about magicians, too, is
yeah,
like
yeah,
the drive.
Here's a soundbite, by the way, for people who are aspiring to get in the film industry and aspiring to direct, write, act, edit, whatever. Usually, you're going to have to access tools that are outside of the industry
yes,
to, like Kurt Sutter. A lot of writers, they don't write. A lot of us, like me, I write, right? But sometimes you will get a writing gig because of your life's experience,
Correct.
and you don't even fucking know how to write. Like,
Correct.
you've been to jail, great. Get in the writer's room.
yeah,
And someone who's been writing for 20 years who might not have those outside experiences but knows how to write will not get the gig. So a lot of people out there, whatever you did for a living, and we talked about this on Sean Whalen's. Remember when Sean Whalen's episode, he was like, I had to sell blenders for like 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
And then he applied that to a movie that he was doing. So
Yeah.
so never whatever, however you do anything is how you do everything.
yeah,
And like use, you're going to use those things. So
yeah.
if you're out there listening and watching, whatever shitty job you have right now, you will need to those.
Well, so that's a perfect
skills.
segue, because when COVID hit, my wife Emily and I were like, well, you guys know, everything in entertainment hit an absolute brick wall. And not just a brick wall, if you want to try to do anything in entertainment, let's be generous, like the 2 years after COVID, you better be taking your vaccinations. You better be wearing a mask the entire time.
Have a COVID compliance
you have to have a
person on
COVID
set.
compliance person to Turning Point, right? Like all these things. And so with Breathing Happy, I always knew that at some point I wanted to pull like an Aaron Moorhead, Justin Benson, just because I had gotten to watch them make movies from nothing so often. And like, it's a joke, but it's also serious. Like, I think we're all kind of in the same boat of like, oh, I thought by the time I was 30, I would be like John Hamm.
Oh my
or,
God.
you just,
25.
yeah, you just got to make it to like 25, 26, 27. You'll be a series reg on some show. You'll make your
Easy.
little pile of money. Then you can start worrying about, all right, I'll kind of do some Broadway stuff or
Yeah.
whatever.
You have to keep finding new people who did it later.
So COVID hits, you're 33.
Colonel
and
Sanders
you're like,
was 50.
Yeah. You're like, I kind of have a career. It's like a heart monitor where it's like great. And then you're crying in a corner. What the fuck am I doing? And then, all right, it's not that bad. And then, oh, okay, it's going to happen. And then, fuck.
Yeah.
And then what the fuck, right? So when
And then you
COVID,
lose 5 years.
and then it's 5 years. And then, right. So I'm fucking 33 and COVID hits.
And you have a baby?
And well, now I have a baby. Yeah.
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 That's
little
good.
baby Hazel. That's
yeah,
great.
that's cute. Love that.
And so Emily and I sold fucking vacuum cleaners
Yeah.
in Houston to racist and homophobes. Some of them were good people. Most of them were racist and homophobes. It was a wonderful experience
Yeah, we love
selling vacuum cleaners
all
in
of
the
your
Deep
customers.
South during COVID, wearing a mask. And it was the only way that I could like, where Emily and I could make like $30,000 in like 4 months, where every dime was going to go towards the movie. That was it.
Would you say more racists, homophobes, or good people buy vacuums?
More good people. But
Okay.
you're still selling them to a myriad of people who such an
Racists
uncomfortable.
don't
Okay,
need
like
vacuums.
this is a very uncomfortable conversation, but it's true. Like it's what we so the way that selling, I also have to be careful the way I say this. We would sell these devices, and the way you sell these devices is there would be leads. So sometimes these leads would be people who answered an ad or an internet thing or a friend of a something or a whatever. So Emily and I would be wearing like our polos with this $4,000 machine going to houses where we don't know who the person is. We don't know if they're going to be truly interested in it or whatever. And the dynamics of a lot of those conversations is they would see two people walk into their home. So then they would think it would be a safe space for them to talk about things that I would truly find disgusting.
Ooh.
And now you're at this crossroads of, well, I need to finance my movie. So I need to sell this device to this person. And this person is saying a vast amount of things that I not only disagree with, but I find repulsive.
Wow.
But they also, I think they want to buy it. So just keep going.
Dude,
Yeah.
this should have been, that'd be a good movie.
Well, we do it in Hacked, which is
Nice.
movie number 2.
Which is coming up.
Hell yeah.
The
Which
leads,
is
that
a part
reminds
of
me
it.
of
Yeah.
Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
leads.
So when you're talking, which like genuinely, thank you. The whole writer, director, actor, like that was not by choice. It was just survival. And I think you should do it too. I think all of us should do it. It's
Yeah.
the thing of like, I mean, you've told me a million kick-ass stories of your life and your upbringing and your like, it's the first version of Breathing Happy was all people. And then COVID hit and Moorhead became a golden door and Justin became a phone. And the kids that I was going to have in the hockey scene became trophies
Yeah.
because it cost nothing, but it enriched the movie. You know what
So
I
wait,
mean?
they were
Well, that's
they were
what
gonna
my-
be like
They were all going to be there. That was the intention of the film, was to just meet all of these people
Yeah.
in my past, and then it became this like crazy artistic.
Yeah, I was
thing,
gonna
which
say,
became
like,
wonderful.
Breathing Happy, it blends fantasy, surrealism, and addiction recovery in
Yeah.
a deeply personal way. Like, what inspired you to tell this story in such a unique format?
COVID pressured me to tell it in the unique format. I'm obsessed with Dr. Seuss. I think you know that. I think we've talked
Yeah,
about
I
this,
love
right?
it
Dr.
did
Yeah.
have that.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't know that Dr. Seuss became remarkably famous because a friend bet him that he couldn't make a best-selling children's book using 20 words or less.
Wow.
And he wrote Green Eggs and Ham. I do not like Green Eggs and
Wait,
Ham.
that was
I do
his
not like
first-
them, Sam I Am. No, that was a book where there are no more than 20 words. He repeats words over and over, but that became the best-selling children's novel ever because of his restrictions. You have to write a book and you have 20 words. Go. So there was something actually freeing about you have $40,000 of your own money, 30,000 from vacuums, 10,000 from saving. You have to edit it yourself because you do not have money to do it otherwise. You have to make yourself the lead, which is something you've been training to do for 15 years. So figure it out. Try to be gracious about it. You got to write the thing because you can't pay for somebody. You have to do all the production design. And like my wife and I would stay up with like colored pencils and shit. That's why everything is made out of cardboard and childlike. The 3 kids in the movie were kids that I thought were profoundly deserving of gigs that I had been coaching. And so I started there. And then Augie, since I knew, and Brittany Escalante, who plays Hugh Scott, one of my, like, that whole movie is just an army of my friends that were deserving. And they all worked for pennies on the dollar because it's also COVID. So it's not like they necessarily have gigs. So it was kind of this sweet spot. Evan Zissimopoulos, who shot it. I don't think that movie is as good as it is without Evan. Like, not even close, because he's this artistic savant that took my ideas that were actually fairly playful and dark on the script, and I genuinely think he made it beautiful. Like a lot of his shot choices and a lot of the manner in which the movie is filmed, it's mostly him being like, what if we did it this way? What if we did it that way? And I was very resistant against it the first couple days, and then I saw the footage and I went, ooh, maybe I need to shut up.
It seems a little diffused, like a little dreamy, like a little.
Yeah, because he would want to pump haze during the vast majority of scenes, and we would have discussions of like what is dream, what is reality, and what is like Dylan is high. So we had 3 distinctions throughout the movie. So if you like go through the movie with a fine-tooth comb and a magnifying glass, you'll go, ooh, there's haze in this scene.
Yeah.
There's none in this scene.
This one's a little more white.
Yeah, and this is handheld, and this is like the camera moves and the manner in which it's filmed was all dictated by those 3 parameters.
How long? I mean, it's just like pretty much one location, right? I mean,
yeah, it was 11 days in Florida,
11 days,
which was basically just me and Hugh Scott bouncing between my childhood home, that's where I grew up, and my brother's house. And then when we came to California, anytime you see Caitlin Nacon, Mia Castillo, June, which by the way, June, the woman who plays my mom, like I started the process of who am I going to cast, and I reached out to a casting director I know named Mark Bennett, and I said, do you have any idea of someone? I think my very short email was, I'm looking for a woman who is kindness incarnate, because the story, which is deeply personal about drugs and it deals with friends and various family members, because growing up in Florida, like drugs were not fun for me to deal with a lot of other people. So I knew that I was going to have so much anger throughout the movie that I needed the mom to be like the kindest person in the world. And Mark Bennett sent me one name. He goes, June, and sent the email. And I read a scene with her, and I cried on Zoom, and I was like, I don't even want to look anymore.
In the script, were you originally adopted? Were you adopted?
No, I wasn't adopted, but I have a little sister, Tatum, who's adopted.
But were you originally adopted? Because June is June's a black woman.
Yeah, that was me going,
change it?
June has to be the mom, so therefore I'm adopted. And I started adjusting things.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really
cool.
I
fell so in love with this woman.
Yeah.
From like the first utterance of her just reading the script, I was like,
so your mommy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
right. So then, but
so
it works.
good.
The adoption thing works because it like almost makes the siblings closer that they're all adopted.
Yeah.
In a weird way, closer because they're.
Yeah,
because in
you're
life
by fate.
In life,
chance.
you don't choose your family, right? Or
Correct.
like, but in this, you kind of.
You were chosen.
You were chosen, and you guys choose to love each other. They choose to care about your drug addiction.
Yeah,
and
because choice and magic and everything is such a huge motif in the movie. Is making choices.
Yeah,
yeah. I want to talk about like the film explores like addiction and grief and self-reflection in a really raw and immersive way. Like how much of Dylan's journey was influenced by personal experience or people you know?
Like all
of it.
100% of it.
Wow.
It's an amalgamation of actual conversations that the movie was born from a seed of, I'm going to be a little ambiguous on purpose. There was a Christmas Eve where there was a person very close to me who was so high out of their mind. And we had like a 5-hour family, like, what are we gonna do? Are they allowed for Christmas? Are they not allowed for Christmas? Is Santa coming? Can the baby be here? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And I had a voice in my head from my mentor, who's John D'Aquino, and he would always say, like, you can't write that. You can't write it. Like, this is so raw and weird that, like, there are some things in life where if you saw it in a movie, you would go, bullshit.
Dude, every
that
day.
didn't happen.
Every day.
You know?
Come up
And
with
so-
ideas. You're like, no, this happened in real life, but
it was
would
like
not work.
4 in the
Yeah.
morning. I drove this person to a seedy motel to sleep it off and came back and we're discussing like, well, the baby's going to be awake in like 2 hours. What do we do? And I couldn't sleep. And I went on my bed and I just opened up Final Draft and I just was like, I'm going to pretend I'm a court stenographer and I'm going to try to write everything that just happened. And I like rattled out 20 pages. And that was in essence what the start of it was. So there was a myriad of actual instances between friends in my youth who literally died of overdoses, close family members, extended family members. And it was this like grab bag of things. And I will say I'm very happy that I didn't attempt to make the movie until after 2 of the people found sobriety, because it allowed me to look at it through a lens of like, oh, okay, I'm at peace now. Like once my mom stopped crying about it all, I was good. And I didn't know that until after the fact. And I think if I tried to make the movie during the throes of it, it would only be mean or angry or fucking like just put the fucking drugs down, you know, which is why Brittany's character in the movie, that's basically me. Like anytime Brittany is like,
she's the dark. Is she the dark haired one? She's the one who's like, fuck you.
Yeah, she's
like,
the cute. She's the one that's like, fuck you. Why are we living in the Twilight Zone?
Yeah.
And like an actual conversation. My cousins have cystic fibrosis, which is a horrific disease, and they are sick 24/7.
One of my best friends has cystic fibrosis.
Yeah. And so there was this big argument that was evolving amongst my extended family, which is like, you know, put asterisks around this because I know there's a whole lot of talk about it, but like addiction is not a disease. Cystic fibrosis is a disease. People with cystic fibrosis cannot choose to wake up one day and go, I don't want cystic fibrosis anymore. So if I stop drinking milk, it goes away, or whatever metaphor you can think of, right? But then with addiction, hypothetically, when you just stop doing that thing that you are addicted to, you are cured.
Yeah, but
it's a very slippery slope, right? It's I
agree. No, I agree with you. But those people, then they have to face whatever they're addicted.
Correct.
So the addiction is just the cover up for whatever they don't want to face.
Yeah.
Which
of course
could
it's an incredibly slippery slope with a million different angles to look at. Yeah.
And I'm sure there are people that have like serious stuff that makes them drink, you know, like serious diseases that like they don't want to face that drink. You know, someone has cancer, right? And they're just like, I can't believe I'm stage 4, you know, and they become alcoholics.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, hey, you got to quit drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, at that point you're like, well, if I quit drinking, then I have to face mortality or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and so like some people, whether it's depression or whether it's like, it's schizophrenia or something like that. Yeah. But then, I agree with you because I've had friends that are seriously addicted, and I think it's fucking selfish.
Yeah.
And I, you know, I don't have to asterisk that. I think it's selfish, and I think it's bullshit. And I don't talk to them like I don't talk to them like they have a disease. Kindly, like I don't talk to them like I talk to them like fucking like
yeah,
dude.
It's
I don't know where I stand. Because my best friend's 6 years sober, and then I had another friend that I grew up with that overdosed. And I don't know where I stand. I don't know where I stand.
Overdosed, and are they still?
No, he's dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, to be fair, you can overdose and
no, but he died. Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting point. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? Like that it's not, that it might not be a.
Well, that it's like, you know, you're saying that it's the same thing as cancer or something. Yet this is something that you have the choice to
kind of if you guys haven't seen it, Moorhead and Benson's first movie, Resolution, because of my past experiencing like people with drugs, it's the most genius premise about drug addiction ever. It's 2 best friends, one guy wants to kill himself with drugs and meth, and like he's saying it. He's like, no, I want to die. I have this cabin in the middle of the woods. I very happily want to do drugs until I die.
Yeah.
And so the best
leaving
friend,
Las Vegas style.
Yeah, leaving Las Vegas out. So the best friend handcuffs him to the inside of the cabin, and he's like, I've been your best friend forever. You're giving me 7 days of sobriety. If you want to kill yourself after these 7 days, great. You do it.
What's he gonna
Wow.
kill? What's he gonna? What is
That's
he
some
gonna
shit
kill
I would
himself
do.
with?
Right? Right? Yeah. He wanted to kill himself with meth.
Meth.
And so, so the best friend goes, nope, I'm handcuffing you to this cabin. And so once he does that, there's like spooky happenings all around the cabin. So as you're watching, you're like, wait, is he coming down from drugs? Or is there really spooky shit and now he's handcuffed?
And
you
he's
got to get
coming
away
down
from the
drugs.
spooky shit. And he's coming down from the drugs. What are we going to do?
Oh my
It's
God.
a really
that
good
would
movie.
suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess don't spoil it.
No, I
Yeah.
won't
It'd be
spoil it.
fucked
I
up.
won't
There's
spoil
there's
it.
like a real like werewolf.
You got to watch it.
Look, I know this is a dark moment, but it does get better. This is the worst of it, okay?
The people come here to look for aliens, ghosts and cults and gateways to hell,
What was that?
looking into other dimensions.
A lot of actors struggle with imposter syndrome or self-doubt, especially when stepping into like directing and writing. Did you ever experience that?
Every second of my life.
How'd you push through it?
I don't know.
You're like, I
don't.
did it another day.
Let's swap this seat with Emily, and she will ruminate for 5 hours about how she has to pull me from the doldrums 10 times a day, being like, it's not that fucking bad. It is bad, Emily. No, it's not. It's okay. It's like, is Hacked gonna sell? We haven't gotten into 12 film festivals, but the ones we did are really excited. But how do we get fucking denied from this one?
Yeah.
damn.
It's okay. The not joking. If I do not wake up and immediately hug my daughter, kiss my wife, say my morning mantra, like, thank you, God, for this life that you have given me. Thank you for my beautiful wife. Thank you for my incredible daughter, for my dog, Ralphie, for my dog, Freddie, for my wealth of friends and family who support me. I'm living the life that I have always wanted. I am a father now. The world needs to see more of Shane Brady. Show them. Prove it to them. This is your day to do something and make yourself better. Meet it with grace, meet it with gratitude, and help as many people as you can today. If I do not do that, and I will say it out loud 5 times out of 7, because I have it on my phone and I have it half memorized, because I do a different one each year. And when I forget, I'm a grump and I'm a bum, and I ruminate in the bad, and it's like taking a shower. If you don't take a shower for 2 days, you're gonna smell like crap. But if you do it every day, I have to take showers for my brain. If I don't, it stinks.
With the drive of Hacked and the industry not being under a pandemic or 2 strikes, do you feel an itch to move back to LA?
The only way that I would move back to LA is for the people. And I do not like a lot of the things that LA has to offer. Just like living, like I have a house with a backyard in Austin.
Yeah, I was going to say you're in
And
Austin for the audience members that don't know.
What's a house in Austin?
Yeah, what is a house?
Well, because I remember thinking about LA or Austin like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I knew the film industry down there. I'm sure it's...
In June of 21, we closed on our house and it was $382.
Damn.
And
you can't even buy a car out here.
No. So it's a thing of
I'm never gonna own a home.
like mental health wise. I think Los Angeles was killing me by death by like a million scalpels. And I don't like to acknowledge that, but COVID I think made that apparent to me, to my life, because of the things that I thought my life was going to be by a certain age, the things like we were kind of joking about, like, yeah, I'll be on a show, you know. And being in Austin has afforded me the ability to like have a car, I have a house, I have a backyard, I have peace, something I never had in LA because you have to have a roommate.
Do you have a gun?
I don't have a gun, but I need a gun.
I don't have a
need
roommate, but I don't have any money.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So what's the trade-off, you know?
Well, but Austin is, it's not like you live I've never been to Austin.
It's not like I'm drowning in auditions or bookings in Austin.
but it's also not like you're in like Lincoln, Nebraska.
No.
So there is a creative outlet there,
Yes.
right? I mean, I know you're in Texas, but Austin's like Austin, Texas.
Austin's
not
good.
like,
Have you thought of doing stand-up being in Austin?
when I did stand up in Chicago, I loved it, but it was the people around me that made me not want to do it anymore.
Face
They were
that
so
fear,
depressed.
Shane.
They were so depressed.
They are very depressed.
They're so
Where?
depressed.
But if you could do
comedians?
around
Stand-up,
magicians.
yes.
Well, comedians. Isn't that a
Magicians are
thing?
just okay.
Magicians
we all
are
know that?
artistic, while stand-up comedians are self-loathing.
Wait, magicians
Yes.
are what?
So magicians are artistic. Meanwhile, stand-up comedians are just self-loathing.
Magicians are creepy. The vast majority of magicians in this world are
But
creepy
it's
and
mainly
weird.
because you're like, oh, you like don't have this.
Yeah, you just don't have the
skill.
social
and
skills.
that's okay.
Yeah.
And like, at least you're a nice person, and
Yeah.
and you light up when we talk about magic. Good
Yep.
thing we're
Aren't
at
there-
a convention, and that's all we have to talk about.
Yeah.
Aren't there magicians that are comedians though?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean,
course.
oh my god, I met the dude that comes up with David Blaine's tricks. And
Aussie
everything.
Wind?
No, Blake.
Oh, Blake. Okay, yeah.
Blake is
Yeah.
so cool.
He's great. He's
and
great.
I'll tell you a story about it after, but yeah, he's great. I'm okay.
Tom is yelling at Josh.
What?
I'm okay. I'm gonna stay longer.
I want to see you do a trick. Shit.
Oh
Okay.
no, yeah, I'm getting there.
That's it.
I'm getting
That's
there.
it.
Yeah.
That's it. I was prompting him.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
getting there. I
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at my phone very often. Just
I know
'cause
I have so many
I'm engaged.
questions.
I know.
But it's also like,
Should we do a lightning round?
yeah, you've worked in big budget films and indie projects. Like, how do those experiences compare, and do you prefer one over the other?
As an actor, the only difference between big budget and small budget is the food.
Period.
Food's better on low budget.
Food is- no.
and your
God.
green room.
Dude, I know.
Yeah,
and
I
your
know.
green room.
Yeah.
I know.
Like, where are you
Like-
hanging out
like-
in between scenes?
Yeah, as an actor, nothing chemically is different for me if I'm
Yeah.
on a student film or Ballers. Nothing is different
Yeah.
at all.
I agree with that.
Yep. So do the process, and when you book the bigger deal things, just know that like, oh, there's salmon for lunch.
Yeah.
You were in Doctor Sleep, right?
I was.
So, and in Doctor Sleep, by the way, I love that movie. I do
amazing.
love that movie.
It's amazing.
Like-
It's an incredible movie.
Have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
It's a sequel to The Shining.
Oh yeah, which is
They
one of
should
my
have called it
favorites.
The Shining 2. The
Well, the
book was
book was
Doctor
called Dr.
Sleep.
Sleep,
Yeah,
yeah.
but they should have called it Shining
They
2
should have called
because
it
this
Shining
right
2.
here, like, we're all cinephiles. And Jill had
Yeah.
to be like, oh, I didn't know Doctor Sleep was the sequel to The Shining. So if you have to educate cinephiles,
Yeah.
if it was called
Bad
The Shining 2, it would have
marketing.
made $1 million or $1 billion, whatever.
That's true.
But you do magic in that, right? You're a
I do.
magician in that.
I do.
That was well, how many
What was
days?
that audition?
The audition was hilarious.
Did you like
Yeah.
have an open call on Actors Access that was like magician needed for movie?
So for you hustlers in the world,
That's you.
for my okay, so I have to try to tell this story as quickly as possible. For my
Why?
30th
No,
birthday,
Just
okay,
relax.
for my 30th birthday, I had fired my agent and manager weeks beforehand because we got in a huge fight because I had a series of bookings. And a lot of my friends who were a little more high profile said, you should ask to have some meetings with some casting directors. This is something you can do if you have a handful of projects coming out and you are very targeted and specific. And I remember like Workaholics being my favorite show at the time. So I remember calling my agent and the manager at the time saying, can you help procure just a meet and greet with the casting directors of Workaholics? I think that I have something to offer for the show, trying to be very businesslike about it. And the oversimplification is this one guy not basically, I'll say it. He said, nobody gives a fuck that you are in this thing. Nobody gives a fuck that you're in that thing. You are delusional. You're not getting a meeting with this fucking casting director, and you need to stop calling us and emailing us demanding meetings.
This
because
was your
it's not-
agent or your manager?
My manager.
Okay.
And so I said, fine, fuck you. And they also wanted more headshots, which
They always do.
like every time something's not working, they're like, well, it's been 6 months. Go spend $900 more on headshots. Fuck that. I hate headshots.
I'm about to do that.
It's the worst, though.
I know.
When you
Hold
take
on.
headshots, do they look at it and go, this doesn't look like you, Jill?
I know.
Why does this not look like
And
you?
then you finish the session, you're looking at the photos, and you're like,
You should do
that
it where
doesn't
you have
look
a
like me.
You should do it where you have a mustache.
Yeah,
Yeah, I should
You
do
should.
that.
You should do a
I should do
mustache.
that. I mean, every 6 months, I'm like, I should just dye my hair red and be marketed
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
redhead.
So
yeah, pretty much.
30th
Yeah.
birthday, I go, I'm not shaving my fucking face anymore. I'm not getting haircuts anymore. I want to have long hair and I want to have a beard. And furthermore, I put on a suit and I got 30 passes to the Magic Castle and I got 30 dozen donuts. And I went to the bottom of Santa Monica at 5 in the morning.
30 dozen donuts.
30 dozen Krispy Kreme donuts.
Wow.
30 passes to the Magic Castle. And I drove to the bottom of Santa Monica at 5 in the morning on my 30th birthday. And I worked my way north to North Hollywood. And I didn't get to North Hollywood till 7 p.m. And I tried to get into every lot. I tried to get into every office. And one of them was engine casting. And ironically, I only got into 21 offices. 7 of them were incredibly kind and gracious, and they were warm and welcoming. And this is fun. And yeah, best of luck to you.
Yeah, they got a free pass to the Magic Castle.
2 of them gave me gigs that week.
Oh, cool.
Like right then and there, like, oh, there's a little thing, you can just do it. And it was a $900 all about the Washingtons Netflix promo. And then there was another one that was, it's like $1,800 right there. It helped get me health insurance that year. It like put me over the edge. 7 of them were lukewarm. Like, who are you? Oh, that's really sweet. And that was engine casting. Like they were, oh yeah, we're just a little busy, but sure. Thank you for the Magic Castle passes. Best of luck to you. And
wait, when they say this is really sweet, were they eating a donut?
They were eating donuts.
Everyone loves Krispy Kreme.
7 of them made me pretty much cry. I would like go in my car, cry, and then build myself up because they were like, this isn't how Hollywood fucking works. We don't want your fucking donuts. We don't care about the Magic Castle. If you want an audition, you get a fucking agent.
And the name of these 7 and the name of these
exactly the name of the 7 are like quite literally
agencies were who?
Like that verbiage that you were not allowed in here. I was escorted off by security in 2 of those.
I bet they fucking used your Magic Castle pass.
Probably did.
Oh, they kept the pass?
Oh, I don't know. But
that's
anyways,
like the hottest
arriving
ticket
at the point.
in Hollywood.
So the audition, Kieran Foy, who's a friend of mine, who's a director, had just done a movie called Eli on Netflix, and Engine Casting had casted that project. So they are casting for Dr. Sleep, which I don't know what it is because when it's bigger deal projects, they don't tell you what it is.
Yeah.
I just get an email from Morgan saying, hey, Kieran also has vouched for you. We have a role for a magician in a project. It's just 1 page. And it was like, does anyone here know a magical phrase? A little kid says, abracadabra. That's great. Let's all do it together. 1, 2, 3, abracadabra. And then you pull a rabbit from a hat and she goes, I can do magic too. Here you go, little girl. That's all it was. Like, you don't know the movie, don't know anything about it because they're hiding everything.
Right.
And I go to do the audition and it was Kelly and Morgan and Micheline. Her name's Michelle, but they call her Miche. And they were the kindest, most patient ladies that I had ever auditioned for in my entire life. And maybe it was because they knew I was friends with this guy, Kieran. Maybe it's because I had done the donut thing, but I didn't have a bunny and I had never done this bunny trick. So I had a stuffed bunny and I had things of fire and confetti, and card tricks and balloon animals. And I go, is there any way that I could like have the room for 2 minutes to set up? And they go, sure, because we're about to go to lunch. So we actually can all go we can go pee. You can set up the space. So I set it up. They came in and I go, okay, guys, I've been doing this. Like I've been doing kids' parties my whole life. I have no idea how to do this piece of paper. None. So can I just do it like it's a kid's party and we just tape it and I'll just like cue you in?
I can see you doing this.
And I lit shit on fire and I blew up balloon animals and I went to hand it over in the balloon, right? And I thought I embarrassed myself more than I have ever embarrassed myself in my life. Because when I was done, I think I said like, do you want me to do it again? They're like, no, that's good. Can you just do a card trick for fun? And so they taped me doing a card trick for fun. No callback, no nothing, didn't hear a thing. 2.5 weeks later, we would like to book you as the role of magician in Dr. Sleep.
Wow.
What is Dr. Sleep? And then you look it up and you're like, there's a fucking sequel to The Shining? Like, why am I a magician for a kid's party? And this sequel to The fucking Shining. So I'm thinking like, are the 2 twins going to be coming down a hall? And I'm
Literally.
like, I didn't know.
Yeah, who's
Damn, that's funny because you were probably like, I have no idea how to do this page. And they were like, yeah, we don't know how you would do that page either.
So now the most terrifying thing is, so Mike Flanagan is the writer and director of this project.
Is he a magician?
No.
Oh, well then.
So I book
He
it.
directed, what did he do before that? He did,
He's done a bunch of stuff. Haunting a Hill House. He's
no, I know he did that
for
afterwards, but
Midnight
he was
Mass.
coming off of the fucking...
Doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter. This is a podcast about movies. What's the mirror one? What's the mirror
story?
I know exactly what you're talking about. The haunted mirror. Oculus. Yeah, Oculus.
That was probably
and
right
Hush, which is incredible. Hush is amazing.
Hush is good.
So I audition not doing the sides that he wrote based on a book. So I'm calling the producers going, hey, is there any way I could talk to the director for 30 seconds? Because does he want me to prep
the bunny?
doing the bunny thing?
Yeah.
So I go to the Magic Castle and they're like, well, you have to practice with the bunny, and you have to practice with the hat,
and you have to practice with that specific
bunny and that specific. And they're like, well, this is filming in Atlanta. We're gonna fly you out. Well, do we have the bunny? No, we're just gonna like hire a bunny on the day. Do we have the hat? No, we need to measure your head, and then we're gonna build it. So there's no prep.
And no one on that set had ever practiced magic.
No one on that set had ever practiced magic. So I show up on the day, and I'm like chatting with Mike, and he's incredibly kind. And this lady shows up thinking that it's a petting zoo scene. And she goes, well, I have 4 bunnies. 3 of them are males that are in heat. So they're really aggressive right now, and they're urinating on everything. And they're like, well, he's supposed to like hand it over to a 4-year-old girl. They're like, yeah, these 3 won't work. You got to use the female. It's the biggest motherfucking bunny on the planet.
Big bunny.
Anyone go look at Dr. Sleep, and you'll see there has to be an edit, because I'm sitting there, and Mike walks up and he goes, that's the biggest fucking bunny I've ever seen in my life. I go, that's the biggest bunny ever. He goes, how's it going to fit in the hat? And I go, dude, I think our magic trick turned into a camera trick.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, I have cameras and you have tricks. Let's go.
Period.
So it was when I'm telling you, it was literally seconds before let's roll. They have an army of 24-year-old kids with parents as stand-ins. And they have me holding this bunny like in a hat behind a curtain. And I'm like, hey, Mike, so remember my audition where I didn't do any of what's on your script?
Wait, was he at the audition?
No.
No, but he watched
no,
it.
But he watched it, right? And the script supervisor is right there, and I'm like, I promise, I will try my best for continuity. Like, and Mike is like, oh no, just like do whatever you want, dude. That was really funny. And so I did whatever I wanted, and I tried to match it. But then the really funny thing was they wanted the little kids to not talk. So I'd be like, does anyone know any magical phrases? And these kids would be like, I know one.
Right.
And they'd all go. And no one was listening to the team. And so I'm like, guys, just they'll listen to me. It was a whole thing, but it was great. And then
so you gave kids lines, and then they had to get SAG paperwork, and then
if I could ruminate on it for 30 more seconds, because it was one of the kindest gestures that's ever been shown to me. Was I was done before lunch, and Mike goes, do not leave at lunch. Don't get into your street clothes, but come back, hang out with us for the rest of the day, do magic tricks anytime things go wrong, and like you can hang out in Video Village with me. So it was just me, Mike, Trevor Macy, his DIT, and like sometimes Ewan McGregor would pop in. And I'm just like sitting there with my deck of cards, just like watching this master at work, learning how he edits, learning his whole system and everything. And when we were there, I was talking about how my grandfather, George, was obsessed with Stephen King. He had every Stephen King book. And if he was alive and knew that I was like a mole on an afterthought of a project that Stephen King even looked at, he would have lost his mind. And Mike made sure that one of the PAs printed the entire Dr. Sleep script with Shane Brady, in the watermark across it. And he wrote to Grandpa George, Shine On from Mike Flanagan. And I thank you so much. And he asked for my number, and we we texted this day, and I cried like a little baby, like holding it, and I framed it and gave it to my mom for Christmas. And I was like, and I couldn't make it through it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Damn. Yeah. It was great. Like if anyone, Mike Flanagan's the best. He's huge. He's huge horror, but it's because he came from nothing. Yeah. He edited reality TV. And he had his kid, and he was like, what am I going to do?
Right.
I guess I'll go make it.
Don't knock reality TV.
What's that?
I said, don't knock reality TV.
Well, I'm not knocking it, but having to edit reality TV, that's got to be
that's
monotonous.
an art in itself.
Doesn't he own the rights to Dark Tower?
He sure does.
Yeah, because that movie. How do you make a fucking 7 books into just like a 100-minute movie?
I hated it.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's got to be a series. It has to.
Have you ever seen Absentia?
Yeah, Absentia is amazing. Yeah.
50 grand.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be a series. The Dark Tower.
Of course.
It's like Harry Potter is the best example. Who takes Harry Potter and goes, we can make this a 90-minute feature?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what they did with Dark Tower. It was awful. It was a miserable.
And that book, I went on this.
I've read them all.
But those books, there are books that are connected, like other Stephen King books,
and I've read them,
like The Talisman.
Yep.
There are different, and I got obsessed. I didn't do it, but I got obsessed. I think this was during COVID. I got obsessed reading other people's lists, and they would all be in different orders, by the way, of what book you need to read first, and I think Salem's Lot. Actually, I think Salem's Lot or Jerusalem's Lot, whatever. Salem's Lot, because Jerusalem's Lot's in Skeleton.
So I'll throw a little Easter egg your way. Why do you think I made Aaron Moorhead a door that shows up out of the middle of nowhere? Because of the book, The Drawing of the Three.
Oh.
When Roland Deschain,
the second book, right?
The Last Gunslinger, is walking and finds a door that just mysteriously materializes.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's a fun way for something to show up.
I got to admit, I haven't read them all, but I think The Gunslinger is pretty boring. First one?
No, that, like, before The Matrix came out, that's what The Gunslinger was.
I know, but
what
it's just,
if
it's just a boring read.
You've read every Stephen King novel?
Yeah. And like, I think The Dark Tower is how Aaron Moorhead and I became friends, because we were crossing.
What was it called?
No, Wolves of Kala is good, but that's the fifth book, and that's where they go and they have a bunch of little flying discus hats that like slice people in half. I think Cujo.
I meant the Dark Tower.
Oh, of the Dark Tower series?
I think that's what you were.
Of the Dark Tower series?
Okay. Answer them both.
Okay.
I don't even know what the Dark Tower series is. I have not read it.
What's the best Dark Tower series?
No, that's not my question.
The best Dark Tower series book is, I think, The Drawing of the Three, because that's when they introduce everybody. I think the final two books, by no fault of Stephen King, I enjoyed them, but they're so profoundly long, because I think he wanted to really... It was after his car accident, and they're just long.
His bike accident.
Or
jogging, whatever.
No, he got...
Wasn't he riding a bike and he hit by a car?
What's your favorite one?
Cujo. I think Cujo's my favorite for many reasons, because I was so young when I read it, and this idea of like this killer dog, but also there was a goaltender for the St. Louis Blues named Curtis Joseph, and so his nickname was Cujo, and he had a really cool goalie helmet.
Okay.
That was the killer dog, and so I remember as a kid being like, fucking Cujo? That's your goalie helmet? You're a badass.
Yeah, all right. That's cool as hell.
While we're on the topic, what are your favorites, Stephen? What do you think's the best? If you've read almost every book, what are the top 5 best adaptations?
Gerald's Game is number 1.
You think so? Okay.
Stephen King even said so. He thinks Gerald's Game is number 1.
Okay.
If you've never seen it, you should.
I've seen it.
It's excellent. Pet Cemetery, the OG one. I enjoyed the new one, but the OG Pet Cemetery would be my number 2, just because the idea alone of you can bring something back from the dead is incredible. Dr. Sleep.
Just because
I know Stephen King hates it.
You
but
can't say The
The
Shining.
No, I have to say The Shining.
Right.
The Shining
So
has to be number 4.
So you just said the book that Stephen King said was the best adaptation, and the book that Stephen King said was the worst adaptation.
Yeah.
All in your top
And then I'm
5.
going to go with the movie Cujo. I think there was like a made TV version of Cujo.
Really?
I think so. Or no, It. Let's go with It.
Oh,
I like the most present, the Andy one.
Skarsgård?
Yeah.
He's good.
I think it's incredible.
You know,
I'm gonna go with It for number 5.
I don't think Stephen King. There's like a bunch of books that he's like claims he doesn't even fucking barely remember writing, because he would drink a case of beer and just do tons of blow and just
walk around with a typewriter
and like that's hardcore and like It is like what 1,000 pages.
Yeah,
it's just like, can you imagine?
Yeah,
like, and a lot of he doesn't outline. He's like, I just don't know where the story's going. And sometimes I feel that when I'm reading a Stephen King novel.
Yeah.
I'm like, he just went on a tangent about a flashback or
I'm going to interject, though. I know. We'll have to cut this out. That's a good list.
That's a good list?
It's a good list.
Nice.
You think it's a good list?
I'm proud. If Thomas thinks it's a good list, yeah.
It's a good list.
Yeah.
You got the Tom stamp of approval on your Stephen King list?
Tom stamp of approval. I'll take
Salem's
it.
Last Night. All right.
Mr. I probably look so...
That's okay.
Dude, I just caught myself. I was like,
down.
I look so stupid with my socks. I'm like hiding my feet.
Like I stepped. It's like such a...
No, but I would be barefoot, but I don't want to show my feet for free. I might end up on Wiki Feet. Who fucking knows?
Oh, they're going to end up on there.
Wiki Feet, that's
well,
a real
apparently
thing.
you don't want your podcast to get a whole bunch of stalker followers with your feet just floating out there.
Jillian,
on my socks.
You should definitely watch Dr. Sleep. And
I will. No,
what's her name? Rebecca. Oh, fucking Rose the Hat.
Oh, yeah.
Now that I know that
Ferguson?
it's... I don't know why I thought it was like a Doctor Who something.
Yeah.
And
But that's why. It's
not a Doctor Who fan.
educating the
Changing a
audience.
card. Yeah. By the way, did you know, since you're a big Dr. Seuss fan, Dr. Seuss Day just happened?
Dr. Seuss Day?
Yeah, there is a day.
No.
March 2nd. is Dr. Seuss Day.
Yeah.
What do they do?
I don't know.
Do they
I don't
just
know.
We used to have green eggs and ham.
Rhymes and limericks?
In,
Like,
in my school, we would.
literally floated it out there, and you're like, I don't know what.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
Great
dude,
interjection,
you know,
Josh.
I'm sorry. Everything's a national holiday.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Every day
I'm
is a
sorry.
national holiday.
I'm sorry. Everything is a national holiday now?
I'm sorry that everything's a
Mr.
national
Potato
holiday.
Head is trans. That's it. I'm going to bed. Like,
Okay, I'm sorry. So there's National fucking Pizza Day. There's National, Green Sock Day.
Wait, no,
There's
I
don't know what
my
they do on these
school
days. I'm imagining-
celebrated Dr. Seuss Day, and every classroom would read a Dr. Seuss novel, and then book.
Yeah.
And we would-
Novella.
and then we would
We'd sit by the
go
fireplace
into
and we
the-
would regale each
we
other
call-
with a novella.
Exactly. A Go Dog Go novella.
Yeah, yeah.
But and then we would all go into we called it the parish hall because I went to a Catholic school, and we would all eat green eggs and ham, and it was pretty fun.
The Dr. Seuss novel is the 1,000-page novel. He did that all rhymes while he was high in cocaine.
Oh my God.
What's that novel called?
It.
Yeah.
Does it rhyme?
No, actually, during the fires, my friend had to evacuate, and she had a bunch of books that she wanted to donate because her family had just moved to Texas, and so she was still in LA where we grew up, and she had like 20 Dr. Seuss books that she was like gonna donate, and I didn't want to be like, can I have all of them?
Right.
So I was like, oh, can I save a couple? And she was like, yeah, that's fine. And so I saved Go Dog Go, which was the first book my brother ever read. And he would read it every single night as a kid to the point where he memorized it. And at 3 years old, he would be like, let me bring out Go Dog Go. And then would like read it to people. And people thought that he could read at 3. But my parents were like, no, he memorized,
just memorized it. It's a good little
and
trick.
then mine was Green Eggs and Ham because that was my favorite book growing up. And then during this was like a couple years ago, but then during the fires when she was evacuated and we were all like bringing things that like meant a lot of value to us, I told her, I was like, hey Val, like by the way, I have your 2 Dr. Seuss books, like if you ever wanted that again. And she was just like, oh my God, can you open the first page? And it's like a note that her grandparents wrote her.
No way.
And she was like, I'm so happy that you have these and that they're like, because she's been my best friend for like 26 years.
Yeah.
So it's like us 2 in this like book that like means a lot to me for different reasons because I love the book. It means a lot to her because her grandparents gave it to her. But yeah, those were 2 things where I was like, oh, I'm evacuating. I gotta get Dr. Seuss books.
We got to talk about Hacked.
Okay.
Or do you want to talk about Turning Point first? Or you want to end it on Hacked?
Yeah, let's talk about Turning Point because I'm
All right.
I'm just gonna work till 1 in the morning.
Let's do
Great.
Let's do
Just-
10
it-
minutes
it
of Turning
is-
Point. Let's do
No, it's fine.
we
I have
can't
a-
because we can't.
I still
we don't
work
feel
a very
bad
corporate
because
job, and I have a
I
9
don't feel bad for
a.m.
you because Hazel's
No,
gonna
we're
wake me up at
filmmakers.
2.
That's fair.
And then she's gonna wake me up at 4:30, and then she'll be up ready to rock and roll at 6:45.
Are you one of my disgruntled actors that is wondering why Turning Point hasn't been released yet?
Oh no, not at all. No, I know. I talked to Tom. I know.
You're like,
Actually,
keep it buried.
Actually, we got to go ahead to do international release.
Really?
And then I asked them. I go, well, does that mean I can put it on social media? And he goes, yeah, international social media. I go,
what does
that mean? Fuck is that?
Is
Kind
all
of
social
China?
media not?
Do you think I just have
Red
international
Note?
social media?
I'm on Red Note. I'll post it on my Red Note.
So, you guys,
I just like to jump in. Augie explaining how I booked Turning Point.
Oh, that's fun.
So funny.
Is the best explanation because I still genuinely have zero recollection whatsoever of talking to you on the phone. For
You don't
20
think
minutes.
one day it's gonna just hit you?
No. None.
When you're 80?
This is
I finally remember that conversation after.
So for
giving
context, I had just finished filming Breathing Happy.
Actually, we should make them. No, you have to watch the Augie episode first.
You have to watch the Augie episode.
to know
You
what we're
should.
talking about.
You should.
Pause.
Yeah, pause.
Go to the Augie episode.
Go watch the Augie episode.
Come back here.
Yeah, the whole episode. I'm not gonna tell you what time.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Augie episode. And welcome back from
the Augie.
Welcome back to the
episode.
Shane episode.
To the Shane
from
episode
the Augie.
from the Augie episode.
And while you're there, watch the Catherine one too,
Yes.
because it's like the Dark Tower series where it's all kind of connected to
It's a
this
sandwich.
episode.
Yes, it's an
All right.
interstitial.
Yes.
It's
what?
Interstitial.
Interstitial.
I use big words.
Right,
So
relax.
we wrap Breathing Happy on a Sunday. Monday is our down day because Tuesday I donate bone marrow to potentially save an 8-year-old's life, and Emily starts work at the Oscars. Monday, we find out that the $20,000 we put down for our purchase on our house was hacked, which you guys were on set when all this was happening in Turning Point, because they confirmed, the title company confirmed it on that Friday. A notary on Saturday morning signed off on everything. And then they were like, whoopsies, we messed up. #COVID. And so I went to the hospital on Tuesday, and Emily just kind of had to deal with all this stuff for the first week, because when you donate bone marrow, you're pretty loopy. I was pretty much 100% good to go after 2 weeks. So anybody who's thinking of doing it, you're fine. Stop being a baby.
After 2 weeks.
Just donate the bone marrow.
Like, I have a t-shirt idea. I have a t-shirt idea that I've pitched to, the company was called Be The Match, and now they're called NMDP, which I think is like National Marrow Donor, something. NMDP.
Be The Match is a lot catchier.
Be The Match is so much better.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's for them to discuss with their marketing department. But I wanted to make a t-shirt that said, do you want to save a kid's life, or are you a little bitch?
Oh.
So if you don't want to do it and you don't want to donate bone marrow, it's fine if you're a little bitch.
You should have that for like anything that you can donate. Like, do you want to donate blood platelets, or are you a little bitch?
Or are you a little bitch?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I feel like a little bitch because I haven't done that.
Yeah.
Just you saying it and looking at me made me feel like I'm the little bitch. And you're bullying me like you did that day on stage.
Like I did on stage, and that's why no one in improv likes me.
Actually.
Yeah. So since Emily was working Oscars, Augie was picking me up from the hospital. So this is my memory of the day that I donated bone marrow. Get up at 5 a.m, go to the hospital, scrub down. Hey, it's time for us to put you under anesthesia. I wake up, I eat a bunch of Oreos.
Yeah.
2 hours go by. I think I'm good to go pee. So somebody helps walk me to the bathroom. I stand up and urinate, and I go to turn to open the door, pass out. I wake up on the ground. I'm naked with a bunch of nurses with my legs up. They make me wait another 2 hours. Augie puts me in I'm in a wheelchair. Augie helps get me in the car. She buys me ice cream. Now I'm in a hotel room. She puts Mortal Kombat on a laptop.
Oh, nice.
And then I wake up to Emily saying, well, now we have to stay in LA for another 5 weeks to do this zombie movie. And I go, what zombie
Why the fuck
movie?
would we do that?
And she's like, you're doing your zombie movie. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? What zombie movie? She goes, Augie said that you're doing a zombie movie. I'm like, I'm not doing a fucking zombie movie.
Emily wasn't even there when I talked to you.
No.
Yeah.
Emily came home from the Oscars, and I thought she was like gaslighting me because I'm like running on this crazy amount of anesthesia they have to give you to like get the bone marrow out of your hips. And so yeah, Augie explaining that like her husband couldn't do the movie, and she was like, Shane could do it. And apparently I was like, give me the phone, and I talked to you.
Yeah, okay.
Do you remember what this?
I wasn't coming from giving bone marrow, so I do remember the conversation.
Please inform me.
I thought that's what everyone was
crazy
saying
if we
that week.
both were.
Was I?
There was no point in that conversation where I was like, this guy seems a little like he's not with it, or isn't that even scarier? It's like it's almost like when you find out you blacked out.
Yeah.
But nobody knew you were blacked out. You're like, how can I function so normally when my brain is not there?
It's scary.
Yeah.
That makes you wonder what else you could do. Like,
right?
And
I
not
did a
remember.
whole ass play blackout one.
Are you serious?
I did Lord of the Flies. I was Jack. It was like a final dress.
There's no girls in Lord of the Flies.
As there shouldn't
be. Yeah, we did a co-ed
Josh.
fucking version.
I'm fucking just.
I've actually done Lord of the
funny.
Flies twice. Once as Ralph and once as Jack.
Cool.
I just remember Piggy.
But yeah. But it was
Yeah, I
like my
remember
senior
Piggy.
year, and
Yeah.
it was like the last like Winterfest day, and I was like, oh well, I gotta go to Winterfest in the morning, and I'll just like drink in the morning, and then I'll take a nap, and I'll be good for 7 p.m. rehearsal. I accidentally drank a pint of Smirnoff.
Who hasn't?
Yeah.
Who hasn't?
Smirnoff, just Smirnoff, or like Smirnoff,
God bless.
like
Just
flavor,
the pint.
vanilla?
No, just the pint of original. Not good. And then
No.
I woke up at 7:15 to a call from my fight choreographer being like, where the fuck are you? And I was like, I'm on my way.
Yeah, you're like, I'm
Oh
already
my
here.
God.
And then I
Was
did
this
the
the second
whole
time you did it, or the
Yeah.
first time you did it?
No, this was like, we had been doing it for like 2 months.
No, but you said you've done it twice as two different characters.
Oh, yeah. This was the second time I was doing it. So I did it my senior year of high school, and then I did it my senior year of college. And that's actually the last play I've done.
And this was high
5 years
school.
ago. This was, yeah.
You were
This is
like
at
drinking
Notre Dame
fucking
Catholic
Smirnoff.
school down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay, but so
All
I was like you could understand everything. This is so nuts to me.
You basically signed a contract,
right?
And
Augie said I talked to you about like SAG parameters.
Is it? Well, that I do not remember.
You're like, do we have a COVID compliance person?
That I don't, because if we do, my
Augie,
girlfriend at the time
said that I like apparently, and again, we have to like bring Augie back on. Augie said that I told you that I would do the movie if you hired Emily, who was just the girlfriend at the time, as the COVID compliance officer, because that's the only thing that we would stay, because we were supposed to be leaving, but that would justify us staying for another month.
I think I did ask, because obviously this was 2021, so like COVID compliance.
It was April
of
2021.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they cost.
Yeah.
And I think Augie was, or maybe I eventually.
I know
talked
Emily
to
got $400 a day, and it was the most.
I think it was 300.
Maybe it was 300.
Hey, well, we got to find our who was our line producer.
Scrub the line items
here.
here.
I think that's more than what I got paid.
It's more than I got paid.
What the fuck?
Wait, you and me got the 240.
Oh shit!
I know Emily got more than me. I know.
Hey,
that.
talk to your union. Talk to your agent.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Speak to this. And I'm talking off.
Hold on a second. Get your ass over here.
This is the real.
Sit
Come
down.
on, Tom.
You
This
sit on
is
his
this is the
lap.
real hot take. Come here, Josh.
Yeah, you sit
You're
on
the
his
host. We
lap.
gotta come on. We gotta be part of this.
So
yeah. Okay.
So.
All right, baby.
Josh told me, he's like, I talked to Shane, and his girlfriend's gonna do it for free. Like, it's like no big deal. She's gonna be the COVID compliant person. Yeah, yes, you did.
This is great.
Bullshit.
This is true. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, but he wants to be cast in the movie, and I was like, he's like, no. He's like, I like him, but like, we looked at his like reel and so forth and so on. It was like, all
I was
good.
like, he's in Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, he was like, he's in Dr. Sleep. No, seriously. And it was like, I was like, okay, this guy looks pretty cool. But I was like, it was a qualifier that we hire his girlfriend.
Oh. Well, hold on. So we
but
also needed a COVID compliance.
She was going to come on board for free. And then I talked to Emily, and Emily's like, for free? No.
It's not happening.
She's like, I don't know who told you what. But like, no. That ain't gonna happen.
This is amazing.
And what was really funny, but I at this point really like Shane and Emily. So like there's no way that there was like, and I'm like, okay. I was like, all right.
Did you know what a COVID compliance person cost at the time?
Nobody fucking did.
Nobody knew.
Well, no.
It was like an invented.
This is a new thing.
Not
So he goes, he's like, my girlfriend does COVID compliance. She'll probably just come on board for free.
No, you said that. No, you.
I'm
right.
sure I did. I was lying on my mind. I've established that I have zero memory of this.
Yeah, you could gaslight him into thinking he said anything.
Now it's making sense.
And Josh told me that.
He said that to me, which makes me.
So this is all Augie's fault.
This is all Augie's fault. That's the
or her magic. Because we're
That's
all
true.
together right now.
Because we wouldn't be together right now if it weren't for Augie.
That's true.
But he said that to me, and then I think so I said that to you, of course.
Right.
And then
what producer's going to shake their nose at a free CCO?
Of course.
And by the way.
But then I wound up on the phone with Emily, and at this point, like Josh liked you for the part, and I was like, well, I kind of like Shane as well, and then I'm talking to Emily on the phone. She's like, well, I don't know where that came from. I'm not gonna do it for free. I'm not working for nothing. Like and I'm like,
Emily
and
probably
I think I kind of
get
just
paid more than us.
at that point let it go, and I'm like, okay, well, we'll pay it out.
But at the time, we didn't know. It only took like fucking 20 minutes for you to become a COVID compliance officer at the time. All you
That's true.
Did
That's
it?
true.
Well,
She had to like. It's like when you get points on your license, you have to like go spend like maybe not 20 minutes, but you have to like go spend like a handful of hours and be like, are germs good?
Yeah,
No.
I was like, In my eyes, I was like COVID compliant.
But
I was like,
she
they're
actually,
just
to her
doctors
credit, she did do
and
her thing
nurses
on the
that work
set.
She was great
Like
because
we
like,
had
she
the
had done
tests,
Oscars and Emmys. And
like
she
we
knows the
had
whole
tests
deal.
coming
Yeah,
in and so forth and so on. Like she actually it actually did keep us in compliance.
Remember the guy?
Yeah.
Hey, we were compliant.
But
she wasn't as bad as. Remember the guy who
stepped in for
her?
Yes.
Like the day she couldn't.
I was like, all right, dude, chill the fuck out.
One little fucking thing, and he'd be like,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hey, mask up. I'd be like, I'm literally
Oh my god, I forgot about
in my
that.
spot.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck do you mean? Put my mask up. I'm about to
Oh my
shoot.
God.
That was 2 days.
That was
He was there for, I think,
hilarious.
2 days.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
2
2 days.
non-consecutive
2 days.
Whatever
yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
I would
Oh
just
my
be. I would be
God.
seriously. I'd be
I
like,
totally forgot
in the
about
corner,
that.
He'd pop up, be like, "Hey, mask."
Be like, oh
And
my
then
god.
at the rap party, everyone was shocked that Emily was like drinking and booty dancing for karaoke.
I know,
It was
I
like,
know.
Oh,
We were
where
all
did this
hanging
girl
out.
come
Yeah.
from?
You know, I had my birthday party at that bar.
You got
No way.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that bar.
I did too.
Yeah.
I like texted Mike Apple. I was like, "Do you think your girlfriend would let me host my birthday party at the
right?
Oaks?"
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
You must be Paul.
You must be Margot.
This must be your bag.
You must be an angel. Did you just start working here? I haven't seen you around.
Yeah, second day.
Well, here.
No, I can't.
Sure you can.
Really, I appreciate it.
Then take it. Come on, as a tip.
I'd have to split it with Willow.
Okay, let me take you out. Oh, what? Do you have a boyfriend?
No, I don't know.
You don't know if you have a boyfriend.
I don't know you.
I don't know you either.
Why do you want to take me out then?
You found my lucky bag. I mean, I think this has got to mean something.
Means you must not care that much about your lucky bag if you left it on a dirty bar floor.
Well, thank you for finding it, Margot. I hope to see you again.
Should really update the information in that if you're gonna leave it places.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'm off Tuesday. Wow, well, we couldn't have you on the podcast and not ask you to do some magic for us.
Okay. Who should I have 2 tricks prepared.
Do it to Josh.
Josh is number 1, you'll be number 2. You're going to
Okay.
be the more difficult one because your dad's
Hell
the
yeah.
magician. Okay,
As
so
I should.
Josh, we're going to put, okay, I want you to get 5 random items and put them on the table to your left. They could be anything you want. They're just random things. They could be different flavors of White Claw. They can be pen.
Do these
like,
3 things that are
Sure,
on here count?
sure. So we have a blackberry glasses. A blackberry? Isn't that a flavor?
A BlackBerry
phone,
phone?
you lunatic.
No, it's not
It's
2000.
not
Sorry, this is
2007.
this is
yeah,
an
get a
iPhone.
tiny little red. Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
these are
cool.
Cute. Little Jello shot. All right.
Okay, so
I'll
for
leave one
You
of
can't
those.
count.
beautiful. So we have
Great.
5 things. Okay.
Great.
Let's here. I'm gonna.
Just
Should we switch?
Just
Yeah. Let's switch just for this.
Okay.
This is great.
Do we switch or you switch?
No. Yeah, Jill.
All right.
bone
Can the
marrow
camera
off
see it?
Yeah. Okay. Here. Well.
I feel like I'm on like the Bozo show or something.
All right. We're getting.
Yeah.
Bozo show. Okay. So, in order for this to make sense, tell the
Remember that
audience.
magician?
Yeah. Tell the audience about these 5 items on the table in front of you, and as you're describing them, I'm gonna make a prediction about one of the items.
All right.
Okay.
My great grandfather gave me this can of blackberry White Claw. Yeah, I take it with me everywhere, and whenever I host a podcast, I set it right next to me for good luck.
Great. We should have the logo out.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Good.
This is a bottle. This is a bottle of.
Or maybe not.
Well, you already wearing that Tampa Bay Lightning.
I know. I'll call Phil Esposito and ask him if it's okay. It's
We get
fine.
demonetized.
Yeah.
That's a bottle of water. I
Great.
drink it for hydration. This is Jello shot. I just did a shot of I don't know, a key lime pie shot.
Great.
These are
Great.
glasses. I use them when it's sunny. I put these on so the sun doesn't burn my retinas. And this is a phone.
Great.
I use it to
Phone.
watch TV. What was the concept of this trick?
You'll see.
I can't remember what he said. So if I
Make
look-
sure there's nothing in my hat. Put my prediction in the hat. And skip it. Okay, so you have 5 items in front of you. Can you please point to 2 items?
In my mind, or
no, with your fingers. Point with
these 2.
So with your right hand, you pointed to
the little cup.
The little cup. With your left hand, you pointed to the glasses.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. Pick both of those items up in your hand. I want you to feel the weight of these items. One of these items is going to start calling to you. For whatever reason, you're going to feel compelled to give one item to me, and you're going to put it in my hand, and you're going to hold on to the other item. You will do this when I say now, okay? 3, 2, 1, now. Out of the 5 items, random items that you put on the table, you chose to remove the White Claw, the water, the phone, and the glasses, and you chose to hold on to the red Solo cup out of all of those. I didn't influence your decision in any way. You pointed to things arbitrarily. You grabbed the 2. I said one was going to call to you. That called to you. Why did that call to you?
Is this going to say something about me? Like my
I don't know,
personality or... I think because I have to pee.
Okay.
And when you go to the doctors, you pee in a cup.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this would not a big enough cup.
What did I write on that prediction?
Red Solo cup.
Red Solo cup.
Now,
right. Yes, golf claps. Golf claps. Very good. Very good. I know you're gonna be upset, but trick number 2.
I know you're.
Trick number 2 is for me or for her?
For Jill. For Jill. Okay. So Jill.
Yeah.
Since your dad's a magician and you just went to London and everything, I have to really do something that's gonna impress everybody, and truly have them go, "How the hell did they do this?"
I thought about giving them glasses.
The only reason why there's 2 of these paper towels here is because it's going to help thicken it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I asked for computer paper, but apparently Jeff only has paper towels.
Who's a printer?
Exactly. So the way this is going to work is you have 30 seconds to draw a bird holding a card. As long as the card that is drawn is clearly legible, A and a spade, 2 and a heart, right? That is all that matters. It is a bird holding a card.
Okay.
You have 30 seconds. And when you're done, what you're going to do is roll the paper towel up so there's no way I could tell. Yeah. So like both together. So you'll go and hold it like this. So there's no way I could possibly know what you're doing.
Does she have to fold it like a diploma? Like
yeah, sure, like a diploma. So talk to me for 30 seconds while Jill goes ahead and picks what card she's going to...
Are you saying that Jillian only has 30 seconds to draw the bird holding a card?
Correct. She has only 30 seconds to draw the bird.
It's like when you're giving an Oscar speech and then you only have like 30 seconds to give your speech.
And if you're Adrian Brody
really
and you have an
nervous.
amazing speech up to the 2-minute mark and then you call the music off and then...
Yeah. And a lot of people didn't like him for that. I don't see the big deal.
It
makes me feel like I shouldn't.
No, it's because it's...
He's like, I've done this before.
It's inferred that it's disrespectful to the later people.
They turned it off,
would
though.
Then...
They were like, shit, we're going to cut that.
Yeah. You have 10 more seconds, Jill.
By the way, she's only drawing one of those birds that goes like this.
That's fine.
Like
it could be whatever bird she wants. That's her choice. It's the whole point is that I have absolutely no idea what bird or what card that she is.
Are you seeing what she's drawing through my eyes, though? The reflection of
I just get lost in your eyes, brother. I couldn't see a card if my life depended on it.
So
I picked the worst mark for this trick ever. 3, 2, 1, roll it up. Let me know when it's rolled. Okay. So, you've done a million magic tricks before. You know that I could force a card on you. You know that I could shuffle things up like crazy. Okay, so put both your hands out like this, fingers, and we're gonna do this. Okay. Nice. So keep your fingers out. Okay, good. Okay. Gotta make sure. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's many parts of a bird, right? Many. You could think of like a beak, the talon, the wing, feathers. Wing, like what's the part of the bird that you really want to focus on?
The beak.
The beak. Pick the wing.
All right.
You'll see why. Oh, what a wonderful choice that you chose to pick the wing out of all those things.
By
the
my
bird.
free will.
So there's no way I can know what your card is. You agree?
I agree.
No way.
No way.
Think of your card, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna say wing, and then think of your card. Wing, and think of your card, and keep doing that. Go ahead.
Wing. Wing.
Hello? Yeah, hold on. Is your card the 8 of clubs?
Yeah.
Oh my god! How did I do that?
Crazy.
I had to do the worst trick ever.
God. Oh my God.
Wait, no way,
Yeah, that's
dude.
the
I
trick.
hate you so much. I hate you so much.
So that's not really a trick. It's a joke.
How did I know that she wrote the 8 of clubs? The phone was ringing. I had to answer it.
Because you looked at it.
Right? Isn't that a miracle?
Is that a miracle?
I sat here the whole time being like, do I really wow them with some impossible trick or do I do the wing trick?
Well, the impossible trick was one you did for me.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the
That's why that girl disappeared.
Yeah,
what's it called? It's
Yeah,
the
no kidding.
the fucking the 4 king card trick. The 4 king card
Yeah,
trick.
the 4 king card trick. You've seen the drunk card trick, right?
Which one?
Here's
Aren't
an
they
actual.
all
Yeah,
like the
they
drunk
are.
card trick?
Here, go ahead, pick a card, any card, like
Also,
everybody in
wait,
London did.
Can we just my bird holding?
It's
the
a really
Ace of
good bird.
Clubs? It's a good bird.
It's a really good bird.
Why does that bird have 4 legs?
Hey,
Hold
shut
on
up,
a
Mike.
second. Hold on a second. Wait, can I see it again?
Fuck
Hold on, let
you,
me see it
Mike.
again. Let me see it again.
Yeah, show Josh.
Wow. Was that hopefully what's funny is this bird doesn't even have a wing.
Yes,
I
it
know.
does. It has a little
Well, okay, it's
triangle.
got one little guy.
Yes,
Looks
a
like it
little
got-
triangle.
Why does that
a second.
It's a bird horse.
It looks like it got shanked. It got stabbed. It got stabbed in the showers in prison right there.
That's why the trick didn't work. It's a bird horse.
Yeah, this
instead
isn't
of
even
just
a bird. This is a chick.
Yeah, you're right. Hey,
Okay.
it was my
This
fault.
is an Easter
Pick a card,
peep.
any card.
This is a peep.
It's a good.
Yeah.
It's a good peep. Go ahead, pick a card.
Oh, card chicks. Come on.
Come on. I'll do one.
I see you
actual card
trying. I see you trying to make
Go-
me
go
pick
ahead.
that one.
I
Any
was gonna
card
do
you
a
want.
card trick, but he took the deck from my hand. So.
Well, no, you're gonna do a card trick after this.
Okay.
And
This is
after
a-
that,
this
I
is
have
very, very
I have a
short
dirty
one.
joke.
Okay. Here.
All right.
Shuffle.
I'm committed to you failing this trick.
Show the cameras your card.
It's like so I can tell what it is.
Yeah,
Does
please
anybody-
take your
does
time
anybody-
shuffling.
Do you have another deck of cards?
Oh, is this for this
this
trick?
color?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you
That's
were
this
handing
kind?
me.
No, you gotta shuffle.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Right now,
Perfect.
as Shane prepares
it
his
was trick.
prepares his trick, he doesn't know
Put
that
the card
I
back
have
in the
a
deck. What do
trick
you
up
want?
my sleeve as well.
And you know exactly what your card is, right? You're not gonna forget it.
yeah,
Because everybody
He's
freaking
gonna
forgets.
forget it.
you
I'll never forget your card.
because they're drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is where you've chosen to place the card. Look, I'm going to take the deck and I'm going to make the cards drunk. Is this a good? Can everyone see? Right. So this is my drunk to sober trick. This is something that I practiced during Breathing Happy because I thought it was funny. So see how look at all the cards. Look, it's a mess. It's a disaster.
It's crazy.
Half the deck is shuffled, crazy, wonky. Hold your hand like this. Put your other hand on top. So all of the cards are completely mishmashed, right? I just shuffled them in front of you. Half of them are face up, half of them are face down. For the first time, say out loud what your card was.
What?
Say out loud what your card was. Did that just confuse you that hard?
No, but
Right?
but you're based on your last trick. I'm like, I'm not telling you my card
What's your
is.
card, Josh?
Ace of clubs.
Ace of clubs. Do you know any magical phrases?
I do.
Can you say it out loud?
Abracadabra.
By you doing that, the only card that's going to be turned over is the Ace of clubs. Go ahead, fan them out.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
Yeah, so you fan them out, and now they're all completely correct except for one card. Boom! Ace of clubs. Drunk to sober.
I didn't say ace of clubs. I said ace of spades.
You said ace of clubs.
I'm kidding.
Play the
I'm
tape.
kidding. I'm kidding. And hey, by the
Roll
way,
it back.
hey, by the way, open sesame.
Open
Says
says
me.
me.
Open sesame.
See? Point for Josh.
Cool.
Do a trick.
Okay.
It's not sesame.
It's open sesame.
It's really open sesame.
Okay, which one? Which
But
one?
we've all been
which
taught.
one do I
Yeah.
want to do?
open sesame.
Hacked, a double entendre of rage-fueled karma is the next movie. Special screening, March 29th, 8 p.m.
Here?
in Tampa. Tampa. We're going to do a screening here, but
okay.
every other film festival is denying us. So
Would you ever
yeah.
move back
I'm
to
sorry.
Florida?
Did
We might actually.
Really?
We love Austin, but we might move.
why
to
don't
Tampa.
you
It's
just
all of our
why don't
families
you have
there.
Anchor
I
Babe?
love Tampa.
Distribute
I
it.
love Tampa.
Because
I
we need
just
to make
have
$1
friends
million.
from Tampa. I've never been to Tampa.
And you don't think it's capable?
Well,
of
Anchor
doing
Bay
it?
offered us $10 million, and that's too much money.
Oh, that's too much
It's
money.
too much money. I would feel bad.
Is the movie done?
Oh yeah.
Why didn't we watch it before we had you on? So we could ask
I
all
could-
kind of spoiler
I
questions.
should have.
That's true.
I didn't.
You could
think,
have me back, and we could ruminate for another 2 hours.
Well, I
about
didn't think it was.
magic.
I didn't think it was.
One.
I didn't
I'm
think it
not
was
gonna do that
finished.
one. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do a different one.
Yeah.
Actually.
I didn't think it was
nervous.
finished.
I got nervous. I'm gonna do a different one.
It stars Chandler Riggs as the chameleon, the Florida's most elusive hacker. Caitlin Akon is in the film. Mia Castillo, so more people from Breathing Happy. I
And
brought
then
back Hugh Scott,
the
Owen Atlas, Colin Thompson, Augie Duke plays Emily
Duke.
Zurcher, plays the movie version of Emily.
And then what's his name that plays Santa?
Richard Reilly.
Does he live there?
We got Phil Esposito. He's back in the movie. He's going to be in the next movie I'm
Phil
doing.
Anselmo from Pantera.
When are you gonna? When do you want to do?
Well, who should I do it to? You were.
You should do it to me because it's more intimidating.
Okay,
for you.
okay.
Yeah.
Um.
I'll be a good spectator.
Okay, what you're gonna do is you're going to take this deck
Mhm.
and just one at a time, with the cards facing down, create a separate deck for yourself.
Great.
Okay.
Great job. You can actually pick from anywhere in the deck. It can be the bottom of the deck. It can be the middle of the deck. It can be absolutely anywhere in the deck. Make the deck however big as you want.
I'm very happy with that.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So what you're going to do is
Like
you're
when
going
someone
to
asks
take
you to
your
cut.
deck
Mhm.
and you are going to create 4 separate piles, one at a time.
Okay.
Just 4 separate piles. You're doing a great job, Shane.
I'm really good at card stuff.
Okay, great.
Good.
How are you feeling?
I feel very confident in my 4-pile ability.
You do?
Yes.
You feel great?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what cards you have at the top.
Okay. King of Hearts.
King of Hearts.
King of Diamonds. You son of a bitch. Impossible. King of Clubs.
Are you feeling like a king today?
I feel like a king every day.
Now, I shuffled this deck. You watched me.
That is correct.
You shuffled this deck.
That is correct.
Let's see what cards you have.
Ladies and gentlemen,
she's done it again.
Kings.
The
Very
full
good.
King Kong trick. Let's go.
I have no idea.
I'm
how
sure.
you ever could have done that.
I'm sure. I'm sure you don't.
I'm flabbergasted.
And are we ever going to tell you?
Flabbergasted. No, we're never going to tell you. Or actually, can you keep a secret? Can you keep a secret?
Yeah.
So can we. Put it about.
Nice.
That's how magic works, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't have a magic trick.
Yeah, we
I'm
know.
not surprised. Not surprised you don't have a magic trick.
Okay.
It's a cool kid thing.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the opposite of a cool kid.
You have to break your neck
I
and
feel like
cut
it's
your
the
finger off
opposite
or have
from
a
what
dad
you've been
that's into
telling
it.
me.
Um,
Yeah.
What a climax to an episode. That
was great.
You know?
That was
Yeah,
great.
I mean, I don't know any other way to end.
I feel like
this
Tom needs to
episode.
just sit back on my lap to
Just
really,
say goodbye to
really
the
end this,
audience.
'cause-
It's a family affair
yeah,
today.
Yeah, it's a family affair.
We
It
all
is a
know each
family
other
affair.
from the same little movie that no
Yeah.
one's ever seen.
Yeah.
And
Or
we'll see
gonna.
what-
Yep.
Or
And
gonna.
his son is too busy fencing.
You know what?
Right now.
By the time,
True.
by the
Killing
time they
people with
just,
swords.
by the time they want to distribute Turning Point, I'm gonna be like, you know what? No,
Don't.
No.
Yeah.
no,
No.
no. You can't release
It's a
it.
pass
Like a
word only
zombie,
Vimeo
like
at
a
this
zombie
point.
rising from the ashes.
Yes.
That will be what the film is forever known for.
Make another movie that's more successful.
How could we
Yeah.
possibly
Okay,
make a
period.
movie that's more successful
We make
than
a magic
Turning Point?
movie.
Make a magic movie.
The Magician's Daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great title.
I was thinking that
Like,
when
we
she
could
said
sell
it.
that.
I'm like, The Magician's Daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
even-
we'll
what-
see.
what
it
genre
writes
is that?
itself.
I got chills from that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right,
Well,
Jill.
Shane, thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining
Jill.
us.
Thank you, Josh.
Can't wait
Thanks
to
for
have you
teaching us
back.
so much.
Right? Can't wait
Yeah.
to
And
be
watch
back.
Breathing.
Come on.
Go.
Watch Breathing Happy.
Yes.
Obviously, watch Turn. Oh,
Yeah, it's on Tubi.
Yeah.
It's on Tubi.
Yeah.
Turning
Hacked.
Point is on nothing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've had a few drinks. Did you tell us the story behind Hacked?
So I'll give you the premise,
Right.
Since I know we're out.
I'll
This
just
is a whole other thing.
I'll just add this earlier in
This is
where
great.
you're sitting in the middle and Jill's
Yeah.
Makes
And
sense.
people wonder.
And
So
we went,
the premise of Hacked is it's my second feature in 2021. Real people, Emily and Shane, were hacked for $20,000. The first 10 minutes are based on true events. The rest is what we wish we could have done to the fucker who stole our money.
Is that the tagline?
that's cool.
That's the movie.
Because you had so much time to think
we had
about
so much time to
that.
think about it. So you know how like everyone has those intrusive thoughts of like you're in the shower and you're like, man, I wish I could have just. Well, what if you were a guy who makes art and you're like, oh, I'll just make a whole movie about finding the guy who stole our money, and we can just kill him over and
So
over and
it's
over. Make it a
45 minutes
torture
of you
revenge
beating
movie.
his face
It's 94 minutes.
So,
94 minutes.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
literally intrusive thoughts is how
Yeah.
I come up with all my ideas.
Yeah.
And shit I wish I would have done. It's
Yeah.
cathartic. Was it cathartic?
It was so cathartic to like, also because Chandler Riggs is the bad guy and he's like the world's greatest sweetheart. So being able to torture somebody that you actually like in real life, but like when you're playing pretend, you just, Yeah, I think we tortured Chandler like 19 different ways in this movie. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
It's a lot of fun. It's truly like the most fun that I think people are gonna have watching the movie this year.
If anyone wants to watch that little fucking son in Walking Dead get tortured,
yeah. And the kid
Check
from
out
Little Evil, Owen Atlas, he's one of the teen stars. We're introducing Colin Thompson, who's the funniest kid you've ever seen in your entire life. Yeah, Augie Duke, Mia Castillo, Richard Wright, like. We'll put the whole cast. It's incredible.
Well, don't worry. We're putting a trailer up.
Yeah, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Jill.
And I can't
Thanks,
wait to have
Josh.
you back, and we can talk. You have so much to talk about, and I think you have so much advice that you could give the youths of our industry.
Yeah, the youths.
Yeah, the youths.
The youths. Youths of America.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We can't wait to see you again.
All right, and thanks for watching The Plank.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Yay!
Way to go.
Right.
That was great.
Let me get some
room tone.
Some room tone really quick. So everyone just please be
Everyone
quiet
shut
for
the
me.
fuck
That's
up.
what I
Think
never.
about how great you are for a moment.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
you ever
do
seen
that
Living in
every
Oblivion?
day.
Yeah.
Oh, I
love
get to
that
keep
movie.
this.
Yeah.
I
The
can take
room
it
tone
home with
scene?
me.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
thanks.
exactly.
Greatest scene
Wow.
in history of cinema.
Yeah.
And
On darkest nights we sail through fog. Two voices echo from the salty bog. With tales of movies and actors bold. Host Josh and Jillian, their stories unfold. Hold fast the wheel, listen to Jive. The Blank Podcast where legends vibe. From silver screens to haunted dreams. In Josh and Jillian's twisted schemes. Brought to you by Anchor Bay Entertainment. Now here's your hosts, Josh and Jillian.